Is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the NBA playoffs.
Down the middle of the lane, takes it right to the rim and flushes.
KTFM Floresville, San Antonio's Sports Center.
We had a Game 5 last night in the NBA. The Cavaliers got their first road win this postseason. They take a 3-2 series lead over the Detroit Pistons. Game 6 tomorrow night back in Cleveland at 6 o'clock. And, of course, that's going to be followed up by the Spurs-Timberwolves Game 6 from Minnesota. Tip-off there set for 8:30. NFL schedule releases tonight at 7 o'clock. You can catch it all right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, happy Thursday, everybody. I'm kind of feeling down. I wish there was a ball game tonight, but there's not. We got to wait one more day. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday out there. This is The Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Thanks for spending a little time with us. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is out, and if you follow him on social media, you know the reason why. So please keep Jason and his family in your thoughts and your prayers. His mother's passed away, so he's going to be out for a little bit while he takes care of his family and takes care of the family business there. So I appreciate y'all coming on and joining us, but if you get a chance to tweet Jason or say something nice to him, please make sure and do that. We'll get on. We got lots to get into today. That is for sure, even though there is no ball game today. I understand the Spurs have taken off. They are in the air as we speak, headed for Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they are gone. As to my surprise, because this is a kind of a change for them, they didn't have practice at all today. And no availability either that is going up to Minnesota. And I guess Miss Johnson thought that the rest was a little bit better than getting in an extra practice session or going through anything else. And, well, they're in pretty good shape, leading that series 3-2. So we will see what happens tomorrow night, and we'll talk a lot about it. A couple of things that I want to bring up because yesterday, if you were with us, we talked a lot about the national media just seemingly jealous of the Spurs. A lot of them that upset with NBC, the way that they framed the return of Victor Wembanyama after he was ejected in Game 4, but he was back, and everybody thought, well, dude, it was his fault he was out, and it just causing a lot of problems. Well, today, Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, was on with Stephen A. Smith on his podcast because they're about to unveil the new anti-tanking rule. And as I'm looking at it and looking at a tweet, I go to the comments, and I see all of these comments about the Spurs. Not about anti-tanking, not about anything else. One was, hey, Mr. Silver, why didn't you suspend Wemby? Hey, Mr. Silver, the Spurs are lucky, one guy wrote, and it's like almost annoyingly lucky. So my question and our poll question to you on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, I don't know, I thought it was kind of interesting. Are you okay with the Spurs being the newest NBA villains? Because I kind of get the feeling, well, number one, people are bitter because the Spurs they've done well. They've been very lucky in the lottery. When you go all the way back to David Robinson, then Tim Duncan, then Victor Wembanyama, and now you've got Dylan Harper, Steph Castle. They've done well in the lottery, and they've chosen well, I should say, especially when it comes to Steph Castle, because let's face it, 3 other teams passed him by. But are you okay with that? If that is the truth, if that's the national perception of the San Antonio Spurs, are you okay with the Spurs being the new villains of the NBA? Go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. You can get there through sasportsstar.com and vote in our poll and let me know how you feel. I'm perfectly okay with it. I think it's fine. And it's funny because I was talking to a colleague out in the hallway just a few minutes ago, and he says, I can understand it because Look how pissed off we get at the New England Patriots for always winning, for always just being there time and time again. And I know it's been a long time since the Spurs have been in the playoffs, and certainly a long time since they won a championship. But maybe there is some Spurs fatigue nationally when it comes to the Spurs' success and winning and all of that. And I think maybe there are some people out there that aren't Spurs fans that just don't like San Antonio very much and would like nothing more than to see them lose either this series or the next. And I just found it kind of interesting. And I haven't seen that kind of national hate, if you will. The national media has always kind of ignored San Antonio, even with the dynasty run of the Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Monte Ginobili days. But I haven't seen it to this level just yet. So that's the reason for the poll question. Go to our YouTube page and vote in the poll. Go like and subscribe while you're there if you don't mind. Do that. We're always willing to take your phone calls here on the Blitz, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You can get me on Twitter at Joe Reinagel 210. So again, it was just kind of something I want to throw out there just to see if we'd be okay. Because look, this city is the greatest, and the fans of the Spurs are the greatest. We know how to do it. We just do. And it's always been a basketball town. The city's always had a ginormous love affair with the San Antonio Spurs and vice versa. And so, I always looked at San Antonio like, we're the good guys. We mind our own business. We root for our team. We're passionate, but we're the good guys. And to kind of get it turned a little bit where maybe we're becoming the NBA villains, if you will, that nobody wants to see win another championship. I just want to see what you guys think about that and if you're okay with it. For me, I'm perfectly fine with it. And they can go jump in a lake, stick it up their behind. They can do whatever they want to do. I really don't give a damn. But I'm curious to see if that would bother you or not if your beloved Spurs were considered the villains of the NBA. I got to get something off my chest, and you guys got to tell me if I'm nuts or not. So, a good day this morning. I wake up early like I normally do. I go to the gym, nice workout, talk to my buddy Ray. We debate a little bit and have some fun. He kind of gets me warmed up for the show. I won't lie to you. But I'm coming home, looking forward to coming home, taking a shower, starting to prepare for today's show. And as I'm turning down my street, I ran over a squirrel.
Murderer!
I ran over a squirrel. The little SOB ran right out in front of me, and there was nothing I could do. And you guys believe that, right? I mean, come on, you believe that. There was nothing I could do. This little dude runs right out, and I'm like, oh, no. And I'm like, oh, geez. I just ran over a squirrel. I've never ran over a squirrel before. Much less killed one. I'm not a squirrel killer that I'm aware of. But I feel bad. And after I did that, I go in the house, kind of moping around. I'm taking a shower. I'm feeling kind of bad about that. I'm hoping this wasn't a mama squirrel. This got baby squirrels hanging out somewhere. Mama. And I don't know. Yeah, I feel horrible about it. Have you ever run over a squirrel, Pledge?
I've run over all kinds of things.
Jeez. The little SOB just darted right out in front of me.
So you're blaming the squirrel?
Yes. I think maybe he had some mental problems. Maybe he was thinking about it. He said, the next car that comes by, that's it. I'm done. The hell with this world. I don't know, but I feel.
Maybe he was just trying to go look into your nice car.
I feel like crap. Well, he felt my wheels, and he got a good look at them, I'm guessing. I don't know. And then I get to, well, maybe you weren't paying attention. Maybe you were you're daydreaming about something. I mean, you're almost home. You're thinking about the show.
Why were you texting and driving?
I was not doing that. I don't do that.
I think I got an email about that time.
Well, you might have, but I do it by voice. So I don't do it with hands.
So you were distracted.
Well, maybe. I might have been. But the little SOB just darted right out in front of me. Just like that.
Joe felt horrible.
And I felt bad.
And then he turned on the PGA and saw his boy Jordan Spieth near the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, that kind of helped. And I've been watching that all morning. It's been a blast doing that. I feel bad. So I know, and I know I can't count on you guys on our YouTube page or a phone call to make. You're gonna make fun of me, but that's okay. I'm okay with it. That's all right. I'll get over it eventually. I've come really close to doing that before, but it's always like, well, the squirrel would go in between the tires and survive, and but this time he didn't. The timing was off for him, and. Well, rest in peace to the squirrel that I killed today.
Poor squirrel.
Well, I mean,
just out there trying to find a nut.
He did. Me. He found one. That's for sure. Oh my goodness. I was not driving fast. That's a question on our YouTube page. I was in the neighborhood.
Doesn't mean you can't drive fast.
Well, I'm not driving fast in the neighborhood. I'm right there. I know
a bunch of people that drive fast in their neighborhood.
I get that. I'm not one of them, Pledge. I'm not one of them. But this thing just darted right out in front of me, and before I could do anything, it's like, that weird feeling.
Hard to drive fast in your neighborhood. You're like right there.
That weird feeling when you run over something and you get the doom. And that's kind of how it sounded. And it was like, so I've got that sound in my head now, doom doom, which was my tire crushing a squirrel. Damn it. Yeah, that's not a good way to start the day. It's really not. But I'll get over it. I'll survive.
Go take out some birds on your way home, maybe.
Dude, I'm thinking about just getting a bicycle or something or a skateboard. I don't know. I mean,
squirrels are the gateway murder, right?
I guess so. It's like, wow. We'll see what happens. We got a lot to get into besides my squirrel killing. Spurs.
We really don't.
Off for Minnesota. They have left San Antonio. They're in the air right now, en route to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where they will take on the Timberwolves tomorrow night, 8:30 on Prime Video, or Prime, I should say. It's not Prime Video, it's Prime. Is it Prime Video? It is? Whatever it is, it's on Prime, which I know irritates a lot of people.
Amazon the game to your house?
Excuse me?
Are you going to Amazon the game to your house?
No, I've got Prime at my house. But I will probably be somewhere to watch the game. It's a Friday night. I probably will be somewhere. Like, I don't know, maybe at the Roo Pub or
I hear there's a table available.
Well, that's what I heard, too, from our good buddy Jason Minix, who obviously reserved the table earlier this week and told us today it was still available. So we'll see what happens and see if that's going to happen. But let's talk a little Spurs basketball. And again, I want you to vote in the poll because I want to know how you guys feel about our good Boy Scout Spurs. That's how I've always felt about them. What if they are now the new villains of the NBA? Ricky, I see you up there, buddy. Stay there. We'll get your phone call here coming up in a minute. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That is GiveMeTheVin.com. We love to buy cars. People don't trust car buyers. People think the price is going to be wrong, and people think it's going to be a hassle. Trust, price, and ease of transaction. That is what we do at GiveMeTheVin.com, and that's what makes us America's best car buyer. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com right now and get a quote on yours.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Healthy vision is about more than seeing clearly. It's about going beyond. From comprehensive eye care with the latest technology to advanced vision solutions that provide deep insights into your overall health. And with doctors who build lasting relationships founded on trust, ensuring that every detail is taken care of. I choose Vision Source to never miss out on life's precious moments. Vision Source, beyond your eyes.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Individual results may vary.
Right now, I have 24 different units. I think that's 15 separate properties. I trust Ownwell with all my properties. I trust them to fight for me with the appraisal district as best they can. And they've done a very good job. Ownwell is making my life more efficient, making me a better landlord. Using Ownwell, I've saved on average about $10,000 a year. That's a lot of money.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be reduced. Ownwell combines savvy technology and deep local expertise to save real estate owners real money. Want to see how much Ownwell can save you on your property taxes? Just enter an address and see your tax savings estimate. See how much you can save with Ownwell right now. But hurry, deadlines to file end this week. Text SAVE to 64,000. Text SAVE to 64,000. That's SAVE to 64,000.
Eczema, eczema, eczema. So many ads for eczema products. But those fancy TV ads don't mention that those prescription products can cost thousands of dollars. There's a smarter way. It's Exoderm for eczema and dermatitis. Exoderm costs less than $20. Yep, less than $20. You don't need a prescription, and it's available on the first aid aisle of your local store. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean, hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives or nasty chemicals. Exoderm, fast, effective relief from the itching and inflammation of eczema. This stuff really does work. Take back control. Heal eczema flares with soothing Exoderm Flare Control Cream. It's on the first aid aisle of your local drugstore, supermarket, and at Target and Walmart too. Exoderm for eczema. Now that's smart.
Move over, Chips. There's a new crunchier MVP in the snack aisle. Enter pork rinds. Southern recipe pork rinds are low-carb, gluten-free, and packed with protein to keep you going. And the flavors, big, bold, crunchy. From sweet barbecue to hot honey, every bite brings that flavor-packed crunch you crave. Grab your favorites today at H-E-B or online at porkrinds.com. Southern recipe pork rinds are your snack time, crunch time hero.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
On the next Morning Huddle, it's a game day ball. The Spurs are tipping. What's your game day ritual? We'll look at their game, the NFL schedule, the other NBA games, and everything else that's happening in your big world. Join us early. We're going to have to. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Let's get wild.
Back here on a Thursday. Not a game day Thursday, although I wish it was. It's not, but we're going to roll along anyway. Happy you took some time to join us here on the Blitz. We appreciate it. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is off. James Pledger, though, is here. He's in his glass box of fun doing whatever it is Pledge does. We're talking a little Spurs basketball as they get set for a big Game 6, a chance to close out the pesky Minnesota Timberwolves in Minnesota tomorrow night.
Pesky?
Well, kind of. Physical, nasty, mean, undermanned. They got a center that's soft as tissue. Not very good. All of the above. There's a lot of things to use to describe the Minnesota Timberwolves, but
not a very good player. Has a lot of Defensive Player of the Year trophies.
Well, he sure does. Only because, for a while until Wemby showed up, he was probably the tallest guy in the league, and so he's been awful. Let's face it. There's no way that anybody out there listening can defend Rudy Gobert. The guy has been awful, just flat out awful. And obviously Wemby has a lot to do with that, I think. But we'll see what happens tomorrow night. I'm sure that Gobert has seen this and heard this. And will that make a difference? I don't know. Will Minnesota make a change and maybe start a Naz Reid instead of a Rudy Gobert? Go small and see if that helps their cause out at all. It's going to be interesting to see, and I can't wait for the game tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. That is for sure. Again, as I mentioned, the Spurs have left San Antonio. They are in the air as we speak, headed for Minnesota for that Game 6 tomorrow. And Watching the Spurs, and I think the rest of the country getting a chance to watch the Spurs, and we're talking about them being the villains of the NBA. And I'm not saying that they are right now, but I know there's a lot of jealousy out there at this point in time, especially with the fact that Wemby wasn't suspended, number one, the fact that NBC made it sound like he was the conquering hero returning from the hunt back to the village to save the day. All of that kind of stuff is just irritating people. And then the lottery luck that the Spurs have had is another thing that's kind of irritating some people around the country.
I know, landing Jeremy Sohan.
Well, I mean, think about it, though. Think about it. You got what other team? And I couldn't think of it, and I have to research it. You got David Robinson. You got Tim Duncan. You got Victor Wembanyama. All generational talents that you were able to get the number one pick and were able to draw. Look, I don't care about being lucky. I'd much rather be lucky than good. I say it all the time on the golf course, right? Just, I know where I'm at. And, hey, if I get a lucky break, so be it. Who cares? It doesn't matter. The Spurs have gotten lucky, and I don't think we need to apologize to anybody for that.
I mean, have they gotten lucky, or are they just
they've
bad
gotten
at the right time?
They've gotten lucky.
I mean,
even if you're bad at the right time, doesn't matter. Doesn't mean that the little ball's going to come up in your favor. But it has in San Antonio's case.
The Wizards have landed the top pick 7 times. Cleveland 6, Houston and Sacramento 5. I can argue, yeah.
Wow.
Houston's best number one pick was Hakeem Olajuwon.
Well, that was a pretty good pick.
That was it.
Yeah, well, that was a pretty good pick.
Yeah, it was okay. Steve Francis was okay.
Yeah, it was. I don't know.
The Washington Wizards, I couldn't even tell you a good one that they've.
Well, that's why the kid from BYU does not want to go there, number one. And there's a lot of people thinking he's going to be the number one pick.
And Cleveland has one good number one overall pick.
That was LeBron, I guess, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not bad. And they had no choice but to draft him. So
no choice.
They had no choice but to do that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change the narrative. Because people are, I think, when they look at San Antonio, they see a team and a franchise that has gotten lucky in the lottery. I mean, here's another debate before I move on. Here's another debate. When I was standing at the Rue Pub last year, I think you were there too, Pledge, during the draft lottery.
Mm-hmm.
And the Spurs, it came down to Dallas and San Antonio.
It was right there.
And I'm thinking, just looking back, and this is no knock on Dylan Harper. I love this guy. I think he's going to be a big star in this league. But can you imagine the Spurs with Wemby and Cooper Flagg? I don't know if anybody could beat them, honestly.
I don't know. Having Dylan Harper's pretty nice.
Well, no, it is. I'm again, it's no disrespect to Dylan Harper, but Cooper Flagg is another generational talent. And that could be another poll. I mean, who would you rather have at this point in time? And I know the answer from Spurs fans. They're going to say Dylan Harper because Dylan Harper is a Spur, and so you're not going to change your mind. I'm just saying, if Cooper Flagg with Wemby and a Steph Castle and all the other pieces there, I don't know that anybody would beat this team. In all honesty, I really don't. It would be very difficult to do that. So, Christopher Summers does not like Dylan Harper. He's made that very obvious. He's on our YouTube page, and he says he'll never be a star. He already is, my friend, and his star is emerging right before our eyes in the playoffs. So that's for sure. Victor Wembanyama, on the other hand, there is no debate. The guy is a star. He can do things that are just out of this world. That's why he's called the alien. A little bit of a love fest for this guy. Patrick Beverley, of all people, who, talk about villains, was a villain in the NBA for years. I mean, this guy was considered a dirty player. He was a great defensive player, but a lot of people thought of him as a dirty player. Well, listen to Patrick Beverley just slobber all over Wemby.
Wemby is the best player in the NBA, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I've never seen a person in my life block a shot, run down, dunk on you, grab a rebound, hit the guard, come off a flare. I don't think you hear me. A 7'6" center is coming off a flare screen shooting a logo 3 all net. Like, you can't put a point guard on them because they're too small. You can't put a 2 guard on them because they're too small. You can't put a wing on them because they're too small. You can't put a 4 on them because they're too small. You can't put a 5 on them because they're too small. And if they are the same size, they're too slow. I've never seen a prospect like this in my entire life. Like, he's a real alien. And I like the elbow. That, get off me. I like the elbow, right? And I like that the NBA didn't suspend him either. Like, don't make it soft. Like, we want to see Wemby play, but like, I've never seen a player like this in my entire life. I've never seen a player like this in my entire life. You're talking about a player that you can just throw the ball to and he can literally just jump and throw the ball in the hole like Nerf. He's the best player in the NBA without a doubt. And we're not even talking about what he's doing defensively. Like, averaging almost 4 blocks, that's like, you know how hard it is to average 4 blocks? That's literally like, I think the person under him is like 1.6 or 1.7. Like, that's 3 of elite defensive centers rolled in one. Like, Wemby is incredible. Like, incredible.
Incredible. That's what he is. If for Patrick Beverley, that's pretty high praise. And again, you talk about a great defensive player, but he was kind of one of those guys, and so I understand why he didn't mind the elbow. That's a Patrick Beverley move for sure. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You want to comment on anything we've been talking about here today, you're more than welcome to do that. The phone lines are open, as Ricky knows, because he's been waiting there. Hey, Ricky, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, guys, I just want to shout out Jason. We're all thinking you, Pa. Secondly, if the national media wants to paint us in a bad light, I'm totally fine with it. The bad boys at San Antonio are going to get stuff done tonight, Friday.
I like that, the Bad Boys of San Antonio. That could be a nice T-shirt.
Yes, sir.
Huh? The Bad Boys of San Antonio.
Yes, sir.
Nice. All right, Ricky. Appreciate the phone call. That opens up a phone line if you guys want to chime in. That way you can do that. Get me on Twitter at Joe Reinagel 210 or go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. You can get there through sasportstar.com. And that is our poll. Are you okay with the Spurs if they are becoming or have already become the villains of the NBA? Do you really care? I, for one, do not give a damn about the Spurs being the villain or what the consensus is around the country. It makes no difference to me whatsoever, one way or the other. As long as they win, then screw everybody. Give me a Wemby there, huh?
Wembenyama!
Or screw it.
Screw it.
Thank you. There you go. That's how we feel about that. Screw it.
Mama.
Oh, outstanding. Beverly went on and on and on and on about Victor Wembanyama. And look, it's not just Patrick Beverly. I've heard a lot of players, whether they're current players, former players, doesn't matter. This guy is really an anomaly. And he is an anomaly in this thing, without a doubt. Because I don't think anybody has ever seen anything like Victor Wembanyama. First of all, 7'4", 7'5". That's maybe not that unusual. There have been players that tall, but nobody that can dribble like Wemby can. Nobody that can shoot like Wemby can. Nobody that is as athletic as Wemby is. And it's just amazing. It really is amazing. And it makes you wonder, certainly makes me wonder, is this how many other guys are going to come behind Wemby? Or is he one of a kind? Or will there be more players like Victor Wembanyama in the future that come up into the NBA and can play the way that he plays? It is just it's incredible, this man and what he can do. And somebody said something that was pretty scary, and it might have been Patrick Beverly when I was listening to it earlier, and I think it was, in fact. All right, Wemby's 22 years old. I want you to picture about 5 years ahead when Victor's 25 or 26. This is what Beverly said.
And it's just a start. And I don't know if you guys remember how Giannis looked when he first got to the NBA, his third year, how bony he was and like frail he was. And Rudy Gobert, when he first got to the NBA, we seen how skinny he was and how frail he was. Like, imagine Wemby, 26-year-old, 27-year-old, 15 pounds of muscle Wemby. Like, it's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. Like, as a coach, I know you have to be like admire to even coach anything like this. Like anything like this. I mean, so shout out to Wemby. Obviously, I'm a Minnesota fan. Everybody knows that, my time in Minnesota. But him playing, it's going to be tough for Minnesota to win if he plays. Like, we see Minnesota when they play, they always have to rally behind, like, and come out of the hole and try to win the game. But, like, Spurs going to be a tough out. With him on the court, him healthy, Spurs are a tough out. They're a tough out. Like, they're so tough, man. And you can't even scout what to do against them. Because, like, if you take Rudy Gobert off, you just go pack the paint, right? And you go be playing, you know, like, okay, you're going to be shooting all threes and you're not going to get no layups. You keep Rudy Gobert on the floor to kind of, like, put rebound and defense out there with him, and you kind of, it's limited because he's winning that matchup. So now you're literally playing 4-on-5. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough for any big to guard Wemby. And I mean, I like what to see. I like how the Spurs are putting them in positions to be successful. I like they can go 6'4", 6'4", 6'4", 6'3" guards and just Wemby. Like he takes up space for two centers and power forwards. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. This young man is unbelievable. So I don't know if you watched the pod or not, Wemby, but you got a huge fan over here in Pat Bev. Huge.
Wow. How about that? A huge fan in Pat Bev. Yeah, well, that's good. That's pretty high praise from Patrick Beverley. But again, he's not the only one. There's been a lot of former players, current players. You heard Anthony Edwards the other night after the game. There were just some things that we can't stop with what this young man does. We just have to hope he misses. And I think a lot of teams feel the same way. And man, when what a helpless feeling that's got to be for the Minnesota Timberwolves. When you're hoping that Wemby misses a shot, because that's your only defense against this guy. It is incredible. Now, Spurs fans that have been around a while, if you're a new Spurs fan, you might not remember Chris Bosh, but I certainly do, and I know a lot of older Spurs fans do as well. Chris Bosh, of all people, was talking about the Spurs, not just the team, but the fans. And he was talking about how you guys, the fans of the San Antonio Spurs, are the best.
The Spurs are officially one win away from the Western Conference Finals. Dominating win yesterday. I told you they were gonna be ready in San Antonio last night. That's one of the toughest places to play in the world, I will tell you that. You know, they always have a knack for playing extremely hard with extremely well-coached, talented teams. That fan base is incredible. They're passionate. They're loud. It's just a tough place to play. Or maybe that's just me. I have just nightmares and bad memories. Good memories too, but mostly bad. Playing in that place because of the challenges. Dominating win from top to bottom. I'm telling you, you throw them bows, you got to get them off you, bro. Get them off you. When you get them off you, it works sometimes. Now it's on Minnesota to defend their home court. I don't know what that does to their psyche. Losing by 30 points, probably not much. One win is one win, but we will see. The series shifts back to Minnesota. They're facing elimination. Let's see how they respond.
We'll see how they respond. We're going to watch tomorrow night for our own eyes how the Timberwolves respond to what happened here on Tuesday. It was Tuesday, right? Or was it Wednesday? What day was it? Tuesday. Okay. I'm losing track there, Pledge. Appreciate that. But it will be interesting. And again, adjustments. Will Rudy Gobert decide to grow a pair and play basketball, or will he continue to be Charmin? We'll find out tomorrow night when that all plays out. I think it's great, not only that Wemby's getting the praise that he's getting, but hats off to you, San Antonio, and Spurs fans for what you guys do and how difficult, obviously, you make it on opposing teams that come inside the Frost Bank Center. It's a very difficult place to play. We're talking about the Frost Bank Center, but soon it's going to be called, I don't know, the Wemby Center, the whatever center in downtown San Antonio. There's been some progress on that. We're going to talk about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
What does it mean to work with one of the largest personal injury law firms in Texas? At Thomas J. Henry, it means we can put our team of experts to work for you. Visit thomasjhenrylaw.com. The name you know, the firm you trust. Principal office, San Antonio.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Hi, I am Officer Sarai Walton with the San Antonio Police Department. SAPD is always hiring, and you can apply online if you think you have what it takes to become part of the SAPD family. Submit your application at sapdcareers.com. Once you submit your application, you will be contacted to begin the process. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring. Start your journey to a rewarding career by applying online at sapdcareers.com. That is sapdcareers.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Hormones can affect everything. Bad skin, bad hair, low energy, poor sleep, brain fogginess, libido, and weight gain. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we take a functional approach to your hormone problems. Eating right and exercise will not be beneficial without optimal hormone function. This goes for men and women. We do state-of-the-art testing to get to the root of your hormone issues and help you get well and stay well. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. We can help. 210-468-1891.
Let's be honest. Watching the Rangers is better when you got something on the line. On Rangers game days, call your shot with the morning huddles. Rangers double dinger payday. Pick the Ranger you think will send one into the seats. He hits 1, you're going to a Rangers game. He hits 2. Now you've just been upgraded. Tickets and a hotel stay. That's what we call getting paid. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Make your pick and win with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
Game Day Eve. We'll just call it that. I'll feel better about that. Game Day Eve here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is off today. James Pledger is here running it and playing the music and doing all of that kind of stuff. And we're talking, obviously, a lot of Spurs basketball. It's what we do because we can. Because the Spurs are still very much alive in the NBA playoffs, one win away from heading to the Western Conference Finals against the OKC Thunder, and which would be a fantastic series, and I know would get everybody fired up, not only here in San Antonio, but everywhere, and I think everybody's looking forward to that. We do have a poll question on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page that I'd like for you to answer. Again, no wrong answers, just whatever you think, and there's a reason why I have that posted up here today, because it just seems like there's a lot of hate, jealousy, call it whatever you want, around this franchise and with what they're doing and how fortunate they've been in the NBA draft lottery and yada, yada, yada. So the poll question is very simple. Are you okay with the Spurs being the new villains of the NBA? Right now we've got 64 votes, which is a lot for a short amount of time, but get in there and vote. The yeses have it. You guys don't give a damn. 89% of you say the hell with whatever anybody else thinks. 11% of you, though, say no, you don't want that. And I get that answer. Trust me, I get that answer because in my 30-some-odd years of covering this basketball team, I've always thought of the Spurs as the nice guys, the good guys that play the right way, that do things the right way, that are the family. And they do that. That hasn't changed. But the perception across the country seems to be changing, and so that's why I asked that question. So get to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, vote in our poll, like and subscribe while you're there, and we'll see how it all ends up at the end of the show when we talk about it. Frostbank Center is home to the San Antonio Spurs at this point in time, but obviously that is changing. And a big step happened yesterday. When the Spurs announced a group of nationally recognized partners who are going to lead key aspects of the construction of the new arena downtown and the area district. The firms that are announced are Marquee Development, Sasaki, Overland International, and I want you to remember that name. There's a lot of other names you may have recognized and you may not. Overland International is the firm that designed Jerry World. Also designed SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, the Cotton Bowl as well,
the redesign,
along with Globe Life Stadium. So they've done some pretty nice stadiums. So that makes me feel pretty good. Pape Dawson is another one, but you see them all over the place. CAA Icon, Stafford Sports, Goldman Sachs, Hunton Andrews Kurth, and Jorge Rodriguez Financial Consulting. I'm not sure what any of those folks are going to do. I know Overland International is the architectural firm that will design the building, and that's it.
I can tell you what Goldman Sachs is going to do.
Well, they're helping with a little money, I'm sure. They're
going to make a lot of money.
Rodriguez Financial Consulting probably has something to do with that, and I think everybody does there. But according to SS&E, these firms are going to work closely with local firms and community partners to help deliver on the project's overall vision. To me, that's great. So, obviously, it's coming. But when the first steps start taking place, then you get excited about it. Or I certainly do. And now this is just another piece in the puzzle and another step as we start climbing to the fruition of a brand new arena in downtown San Antonio. And I am looking forward to seeing ground break on this thing. But what's cool about this particular step, and although we've had the models and the pictures and it looks pretty cool, these folks will draw us something and the Spurs will approve whatever they do and when they're satisfied with it, and we'll actually get to see on paper what it's going to look like when it's completed. Now, I don't know how long that process is going to take, but man, I am excited about it, and I can't wait. Our friend of the show, Jordan Elder, has got pictures, and that's how I knew about Jerry World. I had no idea who designed that stadium, or Globe Life Stadium, or SoFi Stadium, but now we know. Overland International is the arena architect for the new Spurs Arena in downtown San Antonio. I don't know about y'all, but I feel pretty good about some of those stadiums that they helped design, and now they're going to design the Spurs stadium. I mean, when you look at SoFi, it's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
And Jerry World, absolutely phenomenal. It's in Globe Life Stadium, absolutely phenomenal.
The inside of that one's nice.
Yes, so
the inside.
You don't like the outside, huh?
The barn?
Well, that's what the Spurs are playing in right now.
Yep.
Same thing.
We've already got one of those.
We do, and I have it. Well, it'd be in downtown. It's not going to be in a barn shape. It'll be interesting what kind of design they come up with to fit in downtown San Antonio. To me, that's going to be fascinating to watch and to see. But apparently, Jordan's covering this for News 4 San Antonio, and she tweeted it out, and appreciate that, Jordan. But to me, this is big news, and I hope you guys are excited as I am about all of this. To finally get this thing up and running. And, I mean, we need to get this thing built. I'd like to actually see it while I'm on this side of the dirt. You know what I mean?
We'd hope so.
Well, I would hope so, too. Let's get this thing done. Oh, my goodness. It's going to be fun.
Shovels and dirt. Let's go.
Let's go right now. The heck with it. Get a piece of paper, make a drawing, and let's go. We can get this thing started tomorrow. We'll bring out the shovels and go. This is going to be fun, man. It is going to be a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to see that thing. And hopefully there'll be a few new banners to hang up in that place once it is completely done, including this year. That would be kind of nice to see. Adam Silver, we've been talking a little bit about him because he was on with Stephen A. Smith, his radio show on Sirius XM Radio. I think it's Sirius XM or Mad Dog. It's one of those two. Doesn't matter. But he's talking about the new anti-tanking proposal that he has. And Adam Silver has set his mind on one particular anti-tanking rule.
We had to address it immediately. And to the credit of our teams, I think in record time they came together this season and said, all right, we're going to fix this for beginning next season. I guess some people could have said you could have fixed it for this draft, but I don't think it would have been fair to change the rules of the road in the middle of a season. But what we've essentially done, and we have a proposal that we're going to be bringing to, our team owners at the end of May, and that is to create essentially a system of flat odds, so that you have no particular incentive to be bad. That there's even something we're calling draft relegation, that if you're one of the bottom 3 teams in the league, you'll actually have worse odds than teams that sort of are, 4 through up until teams make the playoffs. We're still playing a little bit with the system there. And also, ultimately, additional authority for the league office, that if we do see that type of behavior where there's a sense that teams aren't going all out to win, that we can actually take away draft lottery balls, we can change the order of the draft, that teams have to know it's not just about paying a financial fine, which they may think is worth it in order to get a top pick, but that it will directly impact their ability to get a top draft pick.
It's interesting. Now, this is just, it's there. This is what Adam Silver has come up with. It's the one that he likes. He's still got to present this to the owners later this month. And I'm not exactly sure when that's going to happen, but it is later this month that he'll present that. I would assume they would write off on it if they're satisfied with it because, well, Adam works for them. And if he's happy with it, I think most people are going to be happy with it. And this will go into place next year. What do you think about that? The one thing that look, when this first came out as an idea, there were a lot of people in the national media just kind of poo-pooing this thing. You're never going to get rid of tanking. They'll just find another way to tank. And then there were even others saying, look, it's not going to matter. This year is an anomaly because there's so many good players in this draft. There's a lot of good players in this draft, and people are already speculating next year's draft is not going to be near the talent level that we have coming out in this draft. So I like it, and I like the fact that the bottom 3 teams get less opportunities to get the number 1 pick in the draft. Now, that doesn't always mean that they won't get it because, well, just look at the Dallas Mavericks. Look at the San Antonio Spurs. Look at a lot of teams that have won the number 1 pick with the least amount of balls, or certainly the lesser amount of balls. So it doesn't mean that it's not going to solve everything for sure. They can still win it. But I like that because you're going to want to fight, I would assume, to stay out of the bottom 3. And so you're not penalized in that respect. The other thing is the lottery, not lottery teams, the play-in teams are going to still be involved in the lottery, where right now they're not because they're considered playoff teams. And so all of those things I think are good things, and I think something had to be done. And I will agree. Look, I think this year was somewhat of a one-off because of the talent pool that is out there to be drafted this year, and a lot of these teams were seeing this as an opportunity and perhaps their last opportunity to get a generational talent if there is one out there. There's no Wemby out there. There's not. There's no Wemby out there. There's no Cooper Flagg out there. But there are some talented players in this draft pool that can certainly make a difference in building a team. Maybe they don't make a big difference in year one, but it is a player and a talent that you can build around as we move forward, or as that franchise moves forward in the years to come. So it's going to be interesting to see, and we'll keep you posted on what they do. But Adam Silver, this whole conversation that he had with Stephen A. is where we're getting what I conceive is somewhat hate to the San Antonio Spurs, because instead of comments reacting to what he's talking about and the 3-2-1 anti-tanking proposal and tanking across the league, a lot of people took their comments and started talking about the Spurs, started talking about Wemby, started talking about everything else besides what Silver was talking about. So we'll keep you posted on that. There was a playoff game last night. The Cleveland Cavaliers, well, they win in overtime over the Detroit Pistons in Game 5. They got a 3-2 lead over the Pistons. There was some controversy in this in overtime. Now, all truth be told, I saw the highlights. I did not see the game last night. But there was a non-foul call on the Pistons, or should have been on the Cavs against the Pistons, and it wasn't called, and obviously Detroit Piston fans are upset. All I'm going to say to that is, why? You had a 9-point lead with 3 minutes to go, and you blow it, and to send this game into overtime, and it shouldn't even have gone to overtime. Cleveland should have won it in regulation. They had an opportunity to do that.
I did watch it last night, and I was actually happy that they didn't call that ticky-tack. As it was happening, there was less than 3 seconds on the clock, so it would have been free throws, but it's a foul on the other side of the court to where, at best, he's getting up maybe a half-court shot, a half-court heave, if he is able to collect, gather, keep it in bounds, and pull up and get a shot off. And I would have hated to see the game end like that.
Well, and it was Tony Brothers who has caught a lot of flack in these playoffs. I mean, he has. Rightly or wrongly, however you feel about that, I don't know. But it almost looked like a leg whip, but it didn't look intentional to me.
It wasn't intentional.
So it just looked like it was the force of that. So, I guess I'm glad.
It was two guys going for the ball.
Quite frankly, Pledge, I don't care who wins that series. I really don't. It makes no difference to me. I think New York is the best team in the Eastern Conference, and I think they beat either one of these teams moving forward. Obviously, they got to play a best of 7, and we'll see. But I don't. Cavs can't beat the Knicks, and Detroit, I think, have been frauds all year. So I don't know that. And quite frankly, I'm not sure that whoever makes it out of the East can beat either Oklahoma City or San Antonio, for that matter. Although the Knicks have given the Spurs some trouble this year. But we're a long way from that. The Spurs got to get out of the semifinals first. They're not quite there yet. They are in the air, though. They're flying to Minneapolis as we speak. My good friend Greg Simmons pointed out, and I wouldn't even have thought about this, but I guess it's a good point. It's an 1,100-mile journey from here to Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Cool. The return trip to Oklahoma City is going to be a little bit shorter.
Well, yes, a lot shorter, as a matter of fact. The Battle of the River Walks. We could build that Western Conference Finals series. The Battle of the River Walks. Because Oklahoma City tried to steal that from us.
Their water's prettier.
Well, their river walk is a joke. It's a joke. First time I went there, I wanted to go see it, and there's obviously a bunch of restaurants down there, very similar to what we have here in San Antonio. But when I went down there, I'm going, where is it? What I mean, it's like a little canal.
Yeah.
And it just but it's not even close to what we have here in San Antonio. Have you been to OKC?
I have not.
It's a nice town. It's a cool town. It's not bad. I didn't mind going there. I've been there several times with the Spurs back in my TV days, but
I mean, I've seen pictures of it. It looks nice.
It's cool. It's cool. They have that
lots of bars.
Who was the terrorist attack at the that they had there? They've got a nice what do you got? Museum is not the right word, but a nice I guess museum, but it's really cool. So you try to go through there, and I'll get the name of it. I'm sorry, I just kind of popped into my mind. And but Oklahoma City's a nice town, but it's not.
You mean
San
the
Antonio.
Oklahoma City federal bombing?
That's it.
Timothy McVeigh?
Timothy McVeigh. Yeah, and so they made it because there were a bunch of kids killed in that, apparently, and so they've got a section where they've got this memorial. That's the one I'm looking for. A memorial where all those kids died, and then they've got different things that you can go in and see. If you ever go to Oklahoma City, you should go there. And look, I wouldn't be surprised. You mentioned it. It's not a long trip. Certainly not. I wouldn't be surprised to see some Spurs fans headed there. Because the first two games were in OKC. They've got the home court edge, at least to start this thing. So it'd be nice to see some Spurs fans make that trek and head on up there and represent. And I would not be surprised to see a bunch of folks do that. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Jackals do that, or some of them anyway. It'd be interesting to see what they do. But I don't know.
I imagine the Jackals are going.
I would think so. Maybe Wemby will pay for them.
Ooh.
I don't know about that. Maybe once he gets that first max deal, then he can pay for stuff like that. And
poor guy's just working on a number 1 overall pick contract.
I get it, but that pales in comparison to a max deal in the NBA. So we'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward to that. And I know I'm looking ahead. I shouldn't do that. That's bad karma. But I think Minnesota's done. They're done. They've got no answer for Victor Wembanyama or Dylan Harper or Steph Castle or name a Spur. They have no answer. The PGA Championship is going on. It's in Philadelphia, and it's been a lot of fun. I've been watching it. I know Pledge has been watching it as well. And I know a lot of you aren't golfers, but that's cool. But maybe this will give you a reason to watch and root for Scotty Scheffler. If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, guess what? Scotty Scheffler is as well. And the best way to blow a job interview, one guy will let you know when we can return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
This Saturday afternoon, get out and watch the San Antonio Gunslingers as they take on the San Diego Strike Force. 4 o'clock kickoff inside Freeman Coliseum, and it is their Star Wars theme night. Early fans will get a free lightsaber. They want you to dress in costume because it is Star Wars vibes all day long Saturday as the San Antonio Gunslingers take on San Diego. And the Gunslingers are playing great football right now. They have won 3 in a row. Offensively, they are clicking, scoring over 30 points a game in all 3 straight wins. Defense is playing solid as well. So get out and support the San Antonio Gunslingers as they look for their 4th straight win this Saturday, 4 o'clock inside Freeman Coliseum. Get your tickets now, SanAntonioGunslingers.com. That's SanAntonioGunslingers.com.
Upgrade your truck without breaking the bank at NAW Northwest Automotive Warehouse. Get weather protection, added security, and durability with the Rough Country 3-panel hard folding truck bed cover starting at $6.99. Or cash in on scratch and dent options like WeatherGuard toolboxes, pack rats, and 50 to 60% off a huge selection of new scratch and dent RDS diesel transfer tanks. Skip the big box hassle. Shop local at NAW today. 3027 Culebra Road. Family operated, community driven since 1978.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. Default terms at mintmobile.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagel here for Window Nation. You know, May's weather is pretty nice, but those hot summer days are going to be here soon. Don't wait until the heat hits to try to avoid high energy bills. Upgrade your home's windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. Imagine replacing all your windows with new energy-efficient ones and getting half of them for free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com now to book a consultation.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Green Bay Packers are preparing to start the season without Micah Parsons. He is a candidate, in fact, according to Adam Scheffler, to be placed on the physically unable to perform list. Parsons is recovering from that torn ACL he suffered last December. Miami Dolphins running back and former Texas A&M Aggie Devon Achane. He got a new deal as the Dolphins extended him on a 4-year, $68 million contract, $32 million guaranteed.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a Thursday afternoon, welcome. So happy you're here to join us here on The Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix out for a little while, and, well, if you haven't heard, keep Jason in your thoughts, your prayers, all of that kind of stuff. His mom passed away, and so he's taking care of the family and taking care of all of those things. So we wish Jason the very best. He'll be back when everything is wrapped up and taken care of, and whenever that is when it will be. Until then, you got me, you got Pledge, and we're happy that we have you along with us for the ride as well as we get ready for a big Game 6. San Antonio Spurs tomorrow night in Minnesota. Well, they got an opportunity to wrap this thing up, and I'm really hoping that they get it done tomorrow night, because if they do, the Western Conference Finals will begin on Monday in Oklahoma City. If for some reason Minnesota sneaks out a win and it goes to a Game 7, the Western Conference Finals will not start until Wednesday of next week. So that's kind of where we sit right now. The good news is about the Western Conference Finals, it is every game is on NBC. So there will be no more Prime. There will be no more anything else. So if you don't have any of that stuff, I know you have NBC, so you'll be able to catch every single game. I'm looking forward to it.
Question.
Yep.
That new NFL insider, is he related to Scotty? Or
Did I say Adam Scheffler?
You did.
Adam Schefter. I'm thinking golf right now, and Scotty Scheffler is playing right now.
I was actually kind of shocked you didn't give a leaderboard update in your last Sports Center.
Well, I may do that. I'm kind of waiting for these these afternoon guys. Right now, there's a dude that I can't, what is it, Potgeier or Rotgeier? What's his guy's name, Pledge?
Potgeider.
He's at -3. Who else is at -3?
Former Texas Open champion Akshay Bhatia.
That dude, I hope the wind doesn't blow too hard. My goodness, I don't know how he stands up. That guy's about as skinny as anybody I've ever seen.
I want to love him. I do. But, he's a lefty, and I can't stand lefties. The swing looks so weird to me. And he uses that broom sweeper putter that you're not supposed to be able to anchor anymore, but he looks like he just barely, keeps...
He's trying to, the wind's blowing. He's got to stand up. I don't know. It was a lot of fun watching this morning. Obviously, I'm a big Jordan Spieth fan, and I'm rooting hard for him this week because If he wins it, it will complete the career Grand Slam for Jordan Spieth. He shot 1 under today. He's a couple of shots off the lead. He was playing with Rory McIlroy, who just was horrible today. What did she end up with, +3? I think it was +3 for Rory. And then
4.
+4. And John Rahm, who was even par, 1 over. Do you recall? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Spieth was the best of those 3, and it was a lot of fun to watch. So, PGA Championship going on. I'll keep you updated. I know there's a few of you out there that like to hear stuff like that. Come on. I know you do. And in fact, Scotty Scheffler was being heckled today. Let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Brought to you by Novu Brazil Brewery in North Star Mall. 2 guys. 2 opinions. Never enough time.
The headline blitz. And they're playing this PGA tournament in PGA Championship in Philadelphia. Obviously, we all know about Philly fans and how rabid they can be and, well, how much of donkeys they can be at some point in time. And Scotty Scheffler found that out firsthand.
Dallas sucks, Scotty! We're going to smash you on Thanksgiving!
Go Birds! Go Birds!
He's a Cowboys fan!
Oh, my goodness. Philly fans razzing Scotty Scheffler because he is a Cowboy fan, and he makes it known that he is a Cowboy fan. So Philadelphia Eagle fans up there giving him the business, if you will. And he just laughed it off, and I thought it was kind of funny because the guy was respectful. Yeah, we're going to smash you on Thanksgiving. And look, Philly and Dallas don't like each other. They just simply don't like each other. And so knowing that he's a Cowboy fan, you got to give him the business. You have to. So
I love it.
I do too. I think it was good. And, you know, especially in a major tournament like this, you usually don't see stuff like that. But Scheffler played along, and he smiled and laughed, and he had a good time with it. So I'm glad that he did.
You also don't see stages built in people's backyard to
Is
get
that
a great
incredible?
view.
That is incredible. There is, and Pledge is right. There's a tweet that's out there. And I think they've even showed it on TV a couple of times. But these people that live right there on the golf course have constructed I don't know, what do you call it? It's not a stage, it's a platform.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a stage.
They've constructed a platform in their backyard so they can stand there, and there's a tee box right there. So they don't have to pay. They just sit in their backyard and have some drinks and have some fun. And I thought that was pretty cool, too. So
get to drink a lot cheaper.
So yeah, and you're not kidding. So I thought that was kind of funny as well. And well done to them.
And just a reminder, seeing as we're talking about the PGA Championship, next year it's at the new Frisco course.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I haven't been up there, but I hear it's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice. So we'll have to
take a show on the road.
Take a road trip up there and play some golf. We'll see what happens. I found it interesting with the schedule releases. What you're going to see is every NFL team is going to have like a video. And they do it every year just to kind of announce the teams that they're going to play, and they'll have some fun with it. The NFL came out today and said they don't care if you come out and make fun of Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini.
Chargers looking at you.
Yeah, well, so they're not gonna step in if that's where you want to go with it. The NFL says hands off. We're not going to do that. Well, there is somebody coming to the defense of Mike Vrabel, and it's a guy that Cowboy fans know very well. He just happens to be Michael Irvin.
We all want to jump in, personal lives, and here again, same thing. Where you know how many people, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Dude, if I just get a peek at your history, I'm sure it'll tell me something. Like, we all forget that we have done when we're talking about somebody else, and then we want to castrate and kill him. I hope so. He's such a great coach.
Do you think he will be?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
You think the storm has passed here?
I don't think the storm has passed.
No.
Because
what happens the next time there's a Stephon Diggs situation?
Yeah. But listen, man, life happens. That's what we're saying. We're trying to use people in football.
Yeah.
to be the measuring stick for all of righteousness. And then we act like, I can't believe this person did this. I can't believe it's a person, and people do things. And sometimes it's not right, but we're not in their homes. We don't know what they're dealing with. And we want to sit here and say, man, they shouldn't do this. They shouldn't be doing. You don't know what they're dealing with. Get out of it. Leave it alone. It's not your business.
But, Michael, it's what we do. We like to have fun. But, look, he's right. I mean, we've all done stupid things. We've all done things that we regret. And I certainly have no right to criticize Mike Vrabel.
I mean, you're not going to throw any stones?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not throwing any stones because, well, I've
live in a glass house.
I've been there, done that, and so I'm not going to do that. I was never the head coach of the New England Patriots or a reporter with the
Athletic
standing that Diana Rossini had before all of this broke.
Pretty big standing here in San Antonio.
Well, in San Antonio, yeah, but it doesn't compare to that. But it is what it is, and so I understand where Michael's coming from. But look, people are going to have fun with it, and I have a feeling that the L.A. Chargers aren't the only team that's going to do that. There will be others out there, and so be it. I would imagine that Mike Vrabel is probably ready for it.
He doesn't care.
Well,
I can tell you that he was applauded at his first season ticket holder event that he went to, and I think this was like just a couple of days after he got done with his little day and a half marriage counseling venture he went on for day 3 of the draft. He went to a season ticket holder thing with the Patriots and was given a standing applause.
Well, look, football fans are going to look at it differently. I mean, Mike Vrabel comes in and he takes a team that had no business making it to the Super Bowl to the Super Bowl.
Is it that all that matters in their world, though? Football fan?
Well, I think it is. I think it is in a lot of respects. And so, I don't know. But look, we've all done stupid things.
He's going to catch it from opposing fans, though, when they're on the road this year.
Oh, I'm sure. There's no doubt about it. I'll tell you who he probably got a standing ovation from. It was the first team meeting he had. Like, hey,
I thought you were going to say Diana Rossini.
hey, coach. Hey, coach. She's pretty shiny.
I don't think football players use shiny.
Well, you don't know that.
I got a pretty good feeling about it.
They might. I don't know.
I thought you were going to say, who you got a standing ovation from. I thought you were going to say Diana Rossini.
Well, maybe he did. Hell, they dated for 6+ years. There had to have been something to applaud there, I would imagine. I don't know. Who knows? It doesn't matter. Look, what happened. It's their business. Now they got to write that with their family. So that's the toughest part of all of this is making it right with your family. How about a guy that goes into a job interview and
was this you at your J.P. Morgan Chase job interview?
No, they still haven't called me yet either, and it's getting a little annoying. This guy bombed his job interview. At least he thinks he did. Let him explain it.
Just bombed the job interview. I knew the question was coming. They always ask it. What's your biggest weakness? I blacked out. Brain went numb. Didn't say, delegation. Have a problem delegating because I want to make sure that it gets done right. Nothing like that, nothing standard. Know what I said? Oreos. I said Oreos were my biggest weakness. I was like, I'll eat them until the milk's gone. However much milk's in my cup, I'll eat Oreos. Could be 2, could be 12. Your boy's still looking for a job.
I don't think that's a bad answer.
I like the fact that he had the Office theme playing under this.
Yes, I mean, what's your biggest weakness? Oreos. I mean, seriously, to me that's a great answer.
Shiny NFL reporters.
Well, that's a weakness too, or shiny anythings, no matter what the job is. I thought it was a great answer. I really do, and I it beats that boring that what's your biggest weakness? Well, sometimes I have a hard time writing a report or talking to people or what. Blah. Oreos. Fantastic. Give that man a job. He needs a job. I thought that was a great answer.
No. Can't have him in the office. There's going to be Oreo crumbs everywhere, ants. You can't have that in the office.
Dude, have you ever had Oreo cookies in milk? You dip the Oreo cookie in milk and get it all soft and then eat it. It's delicious.
Yeah, Joe, because I've lived on planet Earth.
I'm just saying, it's delicious. And so I can understand. For me, my biggest weakness is that drumstick ice cream.
Oh, those are good.
Dude, I can't resist.
You go through the whole box in one night?
Not in one night, but yeah, typically I'll have one after dinner. Yeah.
Well, that's not a weakness.
Well, it's a weakness.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Like if you can't stop eating it, that's a weakness. Like
see, that's a poll question at some point in time.
A weakness for me would be like baked Lays. I open up a bag of baked Lays, especially like the barbecue or the sour cream and cheddar. I will eat that big bag until it's gone. Dude, I can't stop.
I can't do baked Lays.
Oh, they're delicious.
Just give me the regular ones. No, I don't like them. To me, the flavor's not the same.
Oh, they're better.
I don't think so.
Absolutely better.
See, that's the other thing. Just regular Lay's potato chips.
They're okay.
That's a weakness. I like barbecue, and then the chili cheese Fritos are good too.
Yeah,
I like those.
But I can stop on those.
I don't know. It's a weakness, but they should have hired this man on the spot. For being as honest as he was. Hire him on the spot.
What's
Honesty.
a weakness? Being a Cowboys fan.
Well, that is a weakness, yes. And thinking that every year is your year. Here we go! Here we go! Speaking of the Dallas Cowboys, the NFL is going to release the schedule for all of the teams. I saw something on Twitter. I don't know if it was real or not, that the entire New York Giants schedule has been leaked out. I don't know if it's real or not, so I'm not going to go there. But we do have some leaks that came out today in regards to both the Texans and the Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk about it. We'll do that when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Headline Blitz is brought to you by Novo Brewery, San Antonio's newest sports watching destination with over 80 feet of video walls, 60 craft beers, and hard kombucha on tap. A full bar and delicious menu. Novo Brewery is attached to North Star Mall and open late hours. San Antonio's playoff headquarters has arrived. Novo Brewery features 80 feet of video walls, craft beers, hard kombucha on tap, and the food menu that means business. Thick-cut ribeye, picanha prime sirloin, Brazilian empanadas, stacked burgers, carne asada fries, and more. And with its own private entrance separate from North Star Mall, no hassle, just you, your crew, and the biggest screens in the city at Novo Brewery. Open late. Visit novobrew.com. Novo Brewery. Come hungry. Stay for the game.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
I built this business the old-fashioned way. Hard work and a whole lot of spreadsheets.
Yeah, about that, I upgraded us to Odoo. Odoo puts everything we need, sales, inventory, accounting, on one connected platform. No more juggling systems, no more headaches.
So it all works together?
Exactly.
Odoo is the all-in-one business software that makes running and passing on a business easier than ever. Take your business into the next generation. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Almost 90 years ago, Academy Sports and Outdoors was born right here in Texas. So we know a thing or two about a thing or two. Like beans don't belong in chili. It's called a feeder road. And how far really means how long. We've been your neighbor for generations. That's why we're adding Texas-sized deals across the store, only in Texas. If you happen to find a better price at a competitor, we'll beat it by 5%. Academy. Fun can't lose.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Memorial Day deals are at the Home Depot, which means one thing: it's go time. So kick off your planting projects and fill your space with colorful blooms that will thrive in your area. Then protect your flower beds with savings on mulch. On special buy, 4 bags for $10. This Memorial Day, get your backyard ready for summer with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Pricing valid May 14th through May 27th. U.S. only. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
Got a buddy who thinks he knows baseball? Perfect. On Rangers game days, prove it with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger you think will launch it out of here. He hits 1, you and a friend are headed to a Rangers game. He hits 2. Now, you've got tickets and hotel. Yeah, you're making a night of it, and your buddy's buying the first round. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Call your shot and win the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
Well, happy Thursday, everybody. Hope your Thursday's going well, whatever you're doing. However you're doing it, thanks for spending a little bit of time here with us on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is off. James Pledger is here, however, playing that fine music. And we're all getting ready for the NFL schedule release. No basketball tonight, no NBA action, just because that's the way that it played out, with 2 teams sitting in waiting for their next opponent in Oklahoma City and the New York Knicks. So it's all NFL all the time. By the way, you can catch that tonight here, right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It gets started at what, Pledge? 7 o'clock? Okay. So there you go. If you're out and about and you want to hear the schedule release, you can do that here on 94.1. A lot of leaks already, and we've talked a lot about it. Thanksgiving Day, obviously the Cowboys are going to play host to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Detroit Lions will host the Chicago Bears. That's going to be interesting. And then the night game is the Buffalo Bills at the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, just think about that Thanksgiving Day lineup, man. I mean, that is going to be a blast. But wait, there's more. We've got a game on Thanksgiving Eve, they have announced and leaked. The Green Bay Packers will take on the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know about y'all, but that's a pretty good lineup for Thanksgiving, pre and the day of. It's outstanding, and I love that. Christmas Day. Sorry, NBA. The NFL is taking over. Christmas Eve is where we'll start, and the Houston Texans are involved. They will travel to Philadelphia to battle the Eagles on Christmas Eve. That's going to be a lot of fun. Then Christmas Day, you got a triple header. The Packers at the Bears, Buffalo at Denver, and the Rams at Seattle. I mean, I got to hand it to the NFL, and I believe all of this will play out, but I got to hand it to the NFL. Both Thanksgiving Day and Eve, and Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, those are some damn good matchups.
Don't want to... Sorry, kids, we're going to have to open up presents early.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like, yeah. Boy, that is just amazing. I'll hand it to them. They did it right for both of those holidays. And you got to feel a little bit for the NBA. I do a little bit because the NBA, I always said they should start their season on Christmas Day because that was always an NBA day. Well, not anymore because the NFL is here and they're a monster and they have taken over. There'll still be a full slate of NBA games too. There will be, so you'll have your choice if you'd rather watch NBA, basketball versus NFL football. You'll have that opportunity because they'll be going head-to-head, so there'll be lots of stuff that you'll have to choose from there on Christmas Day. Now, some of the other Cowboys games that have been leaked, and again, these are just leaks. If they come to fruition, they come to fruition. I kind of think that they will if they're being leaked. But the Eagles to host the Cowboys on Monday Night Football in Week 7. I don't know exactly what the date is of that, but in Week 7, it will be a Monday Night Football game. Eagles taking on the Cowboys there in Philly. They've also released that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will travel to Jerry World and play a Thursday Night Football game on October the 8th. So the Bucs, Baker Mayfield coming back to Texas, and Thursday Night Football action, they'll take on the Cowboys. Then the Jacksonville Jaguars will travel to Jerry World for a Sunday Night Football game on December the 27th.
That'll be good.
That should be, depending on what the Jags look like. But that follows up what we just talked about there on Christmas Day. So it's going to be a complete weekend. Obviously, I think Christmas is it on Thursday or Friday this year? I think it's on a Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to look at that. But
I'm looking.
So it's going to be a big weekend, without a doubt. No doubt about it. And then the 49ers.
Friday.
Okay. The 49ers come to Jerry World on November the 15th. That's going to be a Sunday afternoon late game, 3:25 kickoff on Sunday. So a lot of leaks out there, and I know there's other teams, but I wanted to just highlight the Thanksgiving Day and the Christmas Day game. What are you going to do? And normally, now think about this. We usually have a big Thanksgiving feast at my brother's house. All the family comes in, but we eat about noon. So the kickoff with the Detroit game's already gone, but you're kind of watching that out of one eye. But everybody wants to be done and settled by the time the Cowboys come on at 3:30. I don't know what y'all's tradition is, but that's kind of our tradition. And then I get home before that nighttime game so I can watch the Buffalo-Kansas City game. But I know a lot of people, and I've seen it, and when I was younger and we didn't have this kind of stuff, we're out playing football in the backyard or doing something outside. Well, not anymore. Not anymore. Those days are over, at least in my house. You guys may have a different way of doing things. I don't know, but that was kind of what we did, and it was a lot of fun. Or you'd mess around, and then certainly on Christmas Day, you were out. Back when I had little kids that were running around the house, opening their presents. You were outside with the bicycles or whatever you were getting them, and having fun. Not anymore. Ain't happening. There's NFL football on. So it's going to be fun. And I applaud the NFL for these schedules on both Thanksgiving Day and on Christmas Day. Havoc says he's going to be watching Wemby, and says the Spurs will most likely be on Christmas from now on. And you probably have a good point. Weren't they on? They were on Christmas Day this past Christmas.
Yeah,
they were.
They were the early game against the Knicks.
That's right, they were. I think they got beat, didn't they? And the Knicks beat them that day. Yeah, so you're right, Havoc. I think the Spurs might be a permanent resident on Thanksgiving on Christmas Day playing basketball just because of the stars that they have with Wemby especially, but then all the other young stars that they have. So yeah, that's a good point. So that is something you're going to have to work out. Minix has got his 2 TVs in the living room. He got them both on. I have not done that just yet, but.
About time.
Might have to do it on that Christmas Day.
Hey, Black Friday.
That's right. Depending on when what time the Spurs play, it will be interesting. But the full schedule release is going to come out tonight. Again, 7 o'clock tonight. You can listen to it right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. And who else but the NFL could have a primetime slot on the NFL Network and ESPN for a schedule release?
Mm-hmm.
Does that not blow people's minds?
No.
It blows my mind.
Why?
Completely. Because it's a schedule release.
Yeah. We also put the combine up there.
Well, I get the combine. Obviously, the
NFL draft.
Draft is a big deal, but this is a schedule release.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not opposed to it. I'll be watching.
Of course you will.
I'm just saying it kind of blows my mind a little bit.
We are so football starved that it does not shock me at all, because we start looking, all right, when's the bye week? Where's our group of games that's going to suck? Where's our road stretch? Everybody wants to know. We know who the opponents are. That's not changing. But how do they line up? Where's the easy part of your schedule? Where's the meat of your schedule?
And do you have to travel to, I don't know, Buffalo in December?
Exactly.
So, I mean, all of those things make a difference. Cowboys, though, have a brutal road schedule. They really do. They've got a tough road schedule. The home schedule is a little bit easier, just on paper. We don't know how teams are going to line up and how they're going to play this particular year, which is another thing we all like about the NFL. You just never know what team is going to step up, like the New England Patriots this year. You don't know what team that's going to be, and how good are the Giants going to be under John Harbaugh in year one? Will Philly be any good? Will Jalen Hurts play any better than he did last year? How about Washington? Are they going to be any better? All of those things are just so much fun to think about. And what I love the fact that we talk NFL football pretty much year-round these days. I love it. But the other good thing about this time of year is that the San Antonio Spurs are still playing basketball this time of year. And in fact, we've got a poll up on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. I'd like for you to go there, vote, and like, subscribe, all of those kinds of things. You can get there at sasportstar.com. It's very simple. Are you okay with the Spurs being the new villains of the NBA? The villains. I say that because of stuff I've seen. It sounds like to me the national media and some of the other the fans from other teams are a little bit jealous, maybe a little bit weary of the Spurs getting lucky in the lottery, maybe a little bit weary of the Spurs being a dynasty for 20 years like they were and looking like that another 20-year run could be on tap. So I'm okay with it. I don't know how you voted. There have been 93 votes right now. I hope we get a lot more. But I voted yes. I'm okay with it. I don't care what people outside of San Antonio think. And I will say that's a change for me, because when I covered the Spurs in my TV days, I always thought that, this is the Spurs and they're the good guys and they follow the rules and they're not flashy. They don't show off. And we were kind of the good guys. And I thought that was kind of the Spurs' reputation. I think it still is, but I think people are a little weary of the Spurs getting lucky and back here winning championships, hopefully.
Well, they're well on their way as it looks right now.
Certainly are, without a doubt. No question about it. And could the reason be Greg Popovich? No disrespect to Mitch Johnson, but there is an article in The Athletic, and the headline reads, "How Greg Popovich Quietly Became the Spurs' Secret Weapon." Interesting. There's also a nugget in there about Tim Duncan and his heart when it comes to Greg Popovich. We'll tell you all about it when we return here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
On the next Morning Huddle, it's a game day baller. The Spurs are tipping. What's your game day ritual? We'll look at their game, the NFL schedule, the other NBA games, and everything else that's happening in your big world. Join us early. We're going to have to. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, injuries happen. When they do, skip the ER and go to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. They're conveniently located over in the Corey area. They do have extended hours Monday through Saturday, on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you hurt yourself, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
Pros, save more on the materials you need to get the job done inside and out at Lowe's. Right now, get 10% off in-stock Trex Naturals decking, now available in more styles. Plus, get 15% off select custom entry, interior, and storm doors. Then, we'll deliver it all straight to your job site to help keep your jobs moving. Get the brands pros trust, priced right, and ready when you need them. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Tamalitos Restaurant is now open on the corner of Nacogdoches and Warsbach Parkway, serving up authentic Mexican food packed with flavor. From sizzling plates and fresh tacos to unbeatable lunch specials every day. Plus, join the Blitz Live this Thursday, May 21st. See you there.
Upgrade your truck without breaking the bank at NAW, Northwest Automotive Warehouse. Buy the Rough Country 3-panel hard-folding truck bed cover starting at $6.99. Get weather protection, added security, and durability for all of life's gear. A sleek upgrade custom look for just $6.99 is a quick install away. With NAW and Rough Country truck bed covers, skip the big box hassle. Shop local and get expert advice from NAW today. 3027 Culebra Road. Family operated, community driven since 1978.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off duration, woodscapes, and super deck products May 1st through the 11th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
The Morning Huddle.
There was a push for there to be like some sort of dye put in the pool where if you peed, it like turned the water around you.
We had a sign that if we had it,
Like
if you pee, it'll turn blue. We had a sign that said if you pee, it'll turn blue, and it had a guy standing in it was a picture of a guy standing in a pool, and everything around him was dark blue.
Do you think they ever actually used it at the pool you went to, or just the threat?
No,
of it?
This was our pool. And
okay.
We didn't use it. No, but
no, it was just the threat of it.
We bought it one time, but I pee in the pool too. My pool.
I pay for those chemicals.
My pool.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Pledge getting hard and heavy. Or heavy and hard. I don't know how you say that. Either way, it's this is the Blitz. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason's off today. Pledge is here, and he's got that hard rock stuff going on. Garrett Higo. Oh, he was the guy. Thank you. I asked Pledge during the break who was the dude that was late today. There was a guy that got penalized 2 strokes at the PGA Championship today because, well, he was late. And you can't be late for your tee time. Now, he didn't think he was late. He thought he was there on time, but you have to show up a certain amount of minutes before you tee off. And I think he showed up like with 1 minute to spare. So the PGA Tour, they 2 strokes right off the bat. So he was hitting his 3rd shot off the first tee, which is never a good thing. But he was. And so I was looking for him because I wanted to see how he did today. And I haven't seen it. Do you see it, Pledge? Do you see him? And maybe he withdrew, although he was doing interviews with everybody. That dude was doing interviews with everybody. So it's interesting. We'll find out, and it really doesn't matter. He's not going to win this thing. But he looked like kind of a regular guy, and I understand that. You know, he might have hung out, had some barbecue last night, maybe went and partied in Philly, had a few too many drinks, and you know, you just slept through the alarm. I mean, I don't know. It's what it sounds like to me. Why else would you be late if you're playing in the PGA Championship and, well, you're late? Unless you're hungover. It's the only reason. And I know there's a lot of you listening right now that know exactly what I'm talking about because that has happened to you. I promise you it has, and it's happened to me. So, I don't know. Yeah, interesting, but we'll find out what he did, and we'll give you some updates on what's happening there, too, at some point in time. Wanted to talk about this because there is a great article in The Athletic today by Jared Weiss, and the headline is very simple. It says, how Greg Popovich quietly became the Spurs' secret weapon. And it's just lately that we've been seeing Pop walking around the practice facility and talking to the players. We saw him the other day meeting at the airport with Victor Wembanyama after he got tossed in that Game 4. So Greg Popovich still very much involved. Now, there's a lot of ways to look into this, but as the article goes, Devin Vassell was interviewed for this thing. And not only Devin Vassell, but a lot of guys, too. Dylan Harper was another guy that did. And Dylan Harper says, look, I thought he was mean. I thought he was one of these guys that would yell at you. He said, he's one of the nicest guys that I've ever met. But just that fatherly or grandfatherly, however you want to put it, and I'm not trying to make Pop older than he is, but just talking to these guys and giving them a little piece of advice. And I have to believe that Mitch Johnson is cool with this. And it almost encourages it. I would, if I'm Mitch Johnson, I'd be thrilled to have Greg Popovich come in and talk to my players. Carter Bryant's another one that they interviewed. His quote is, "It's been amazing. Not everybody has the greatest coach of all time just kind of sitting there in their laps. I just try and take it up as much as I possibly can." And he's talking about the advice that Pop has to give. But I'm wondering, and I'll ask you the question. When it comes to Mitch Johnson, and I think he's done a great job. In fact, I thought he should get Coach of the Year. He was my Coach of the Year candidate with what he did and how quickly he turned this team around and what he's done. I thought Mitch Johnson should be, certainly, if he didn't win the award or doesn't win the award, then I think he should be right up there without a doubt, and I think that he will be. But does this kind of cut into Mitch Johnson's what he's done this year, with Greg Popovich getting a lot of this credit? Or is that just a piece or a tool that the Spurs have at their disposal that they're using? I mean, let's face it, Greg Popovich will go down, I think, as the greatest coach of all time in NBA history. And there have been a lot of great coaches in the NBA, don't get me wrong, but I think Greg Popovich, with what he did with this franchise, with the 5 championships, I think he will go down as the best coach in NBA history, at least at this point in time. Now, there will be others that will come up, there's no doubt, and down the line, as years go by, that could be as good as what Pop was. But the fact that he's still there, does that affect how you feel about Mitch Johnson and the job that he did this year. Because according to this article in The Athletic, Pop's been there the whole time. I mean, he's been there all season long. And the success that the Spurs have had this year, I don't know. To me, it does not. But I am curious to see how you feel about that. A lot of ways to do that. If you're on our YouTube page, you can let me know there. Like and subscribe. You can give me a call. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. With an article like this, that Greg Popovich is the secret weapon for the Spurs this year. I just find that interesting at this point in time, and I find the article not ill-timed, but interestingly timed. And I say that just simply because, look, the Spurs knew this was happening. They knew The Athletic. You don't interview these players without the Spurs say so and without their permission to do that. And so they knew The Athletic was there. Now, they may not have known what they were asking the players, and certainly The Athletic is a reputable media source. So I just find it interesting, the timing of this particular article. So I am curious to know what you guys think. Does that wreck, or does that put a dent, if you will, into Mitch Johnson's legacy, or the job he's done? He does too young to have a legacy. But does it put a dent or a scratch or take a little shine off what Mitch Johnson has accomplished this year? For me, no, it does not. I just think Mitch Johnson is smart enough to know when you've got a Hall of Fame coach there in your building, you use him. You don't ignore him, and you let him do what he does. Pledge, I'm curious, what do you think? Do you think that just the headline of this article suggests to me that Greg Popovich deserves a hell of a lot of credit for the Spurs' success this year?
I mean, of course he deserves credit. He's a part of this team too. He deserves credit, just like Brian Wright deserves credit, just like Sean Sweeney deserves credit. Just if you're in this organization, you are contributing to this team and its success.
But not any of those guys that you mentioned are not Hall of Famers. They're not considered, if not the best, certainly one of the best coaches to ever coach in the NBA.
Sure.
And so to me, it's, yeah, and you're right, all of those people contribute. But just the headline of this article is, all right, I'll ask you this question. Is that a fair headline, that Greg Popovich is the Spurs' secret weapon? See, it's a difficult question to answer.
It's difficult to answer because, yes, he's a part of their success. He's a great basketball mind to be able to pick at for these players.
Without a doubt. And I guess
coaches.
You could say the same thing for Manu Ginobili being in the building, or Tim Duncan being in the building, or any former player that's in the building that's giving these young players some advice.
But at the same time, you don't see this in other organizations where, like, if Rudy Tomjanovich is around the Rockets, nobody gets credit for or gives credit to Rudy Tomjanovich for making himself available to when he was, But I think Don Nelson, when he was with the Warriors, or, just there are all-time greats. Patrick Ewing with the Knicks, when he would hang around with them. Like, you don't see that everywhere else, but at the same time, you also don't see the kind of family and community that the Spurs are in every organization either.
I have never in my life seen a former head coach show up at an airport when the team is coming back and talk to the star player the way that Greg Popovich did the other day. And obviously, whatever that discussion was, and I don't think we'll ever know the answer completely to what it was. You can have your thoughts about what it was. But Victor Wembanyama was a different person in Game 5. His demeanor was different. His confidence level seemed to be different to me. I think you know what I'm talking about. Because in Game 4, let's face it, with what the Timberwolves were doing to him, he seemed frazzled at times and then ultimately lost his cool. In Game 5, they tried. They were trying to harass him, maybe to get under his skin, and he wasn't having any of it. And I think a big part of that was whatever Greg Popovich said to him at the airport in that meeting. And I just find that fascinating that Pop, number one, I'm convinced, just being around Greg Popovich for 25 years. Well, not quite. You know what I'm for a long time. He hates the fact that he's not still coaching. And obviously life happens, and what happened to Pop is unfortunate, but the fact that he can still contribute in the way that he's doing, I think helps him tremendously, and I applaud Mitch Johnson for allowing it. I applaud him.
We don't take away from Victor Wembanyama or Dylan Harper or any of those players and their greatness from what they're achieving because Tim Duncan's at the facility all the time and helping out, or Manu Ginobili's at the facility and offering words of wisdom and stuff like that. We only do it with Pop and Mitch Johnson.
Well, I do that because, I mean, look, it's again, Pop's resume speaks for itself. Mitch doesn't have one yet. He's building it, and he's doing a pretty good job with it. But this is not a slight against Mitch Johnson. I applaud him, and I respect the fact that he allows one of the greatest coaches to ever coach this game to be a big part of this team and this team's success. I just think this article is the timing of this article is a little bit odd to me because it looks like, and it hasn't happened yet, but it looks like the Spurs are going to move on to the Western Conference Finals. And so maybe the timing of it is what I'm baffled at. And I don't want to see the success that he's had with his team overshadowed in any way, shape, or form. And I don't think that it is in the fact that he has let this happen. He has. And I think Pop has enough respect for Mitch Johnson that he didn't just go in there and take over. I think he asked permission or Mitch Johnson went to him and said, hey, I have no issue with you being a part of this team and talking to the players and doing whatever. However it transpired, it has been a good thing. And I just think you look at that airport meeting to me, and that says everything you need to know. And then you see the demeanor of one Victor Wembanyama in game 4 or 5. I just think it tells you everything you need to know about what it is. And Pop has this effect on players and all of these young players. And the knock on Pop there for a time was, well, he's too old. He doesn't know how to interact with these players. You read this article, every one of these young players thinks he's the greatest.
Sure.
And they love hearing from him, and they love his directness and his honesty.
Is it any different? And I don't remember that, but I also didn't live in Miami at the time. Mitch Johnson was handpicked in a similar way that Eric Spoelstra was by Pat Riley.
Yep, very true.
And that's a guy with a large basketball reputation that is a Hall of Famer and has multiple championships. But I don't ever remember anything being taken away from what Eric Spoelstra did with that Miami Heat team.
No, nothing. But was Pat Riley hanging around the practice facility? Was he?
I remember seeing videos of him around the facilities.
Maybe so, and maybe.
But he's similar to Pop, and he is still a part of the organization.
Well, sure.
I believe he's the president of basketball operations there.
He is. Absolutely. I just think it's I don't know. Maybe I'm making too much out of it. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Let's go to the phone lines. Connor, what do you think about this article?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I do think Pop has a very significant role still to this day, maybe not right as a head coach, but his overall legacy and what he's left behind left a blueprint for Mitch. Now, like you've been saying and the other callers, that doesn't take away from Mitch and what the Spurs have done this year. Same with Victor and all the young core that we have. But I also believe that we would not be where we are without Popovich. So in a sense, that article is correct with him being that secret weapon that we have. That a lot of other teams don't have all-time greats backing up their young guys. And that success came from and was built from Greg Popovich.
Interesting. Well, I appreciate the phone call, Connor, and it's a good perspective and a good way to look at this, I think. He's a weapon at Mitch Johnson's disposal. Let's go back to the phone line, 656-3776. Frank, you're on the Blitz. What's going on?
Yeah, Joe, just like Connor just said, Pop's in the building, just like Pat Riley. And if we go a little bit further back, Red Auerbach was also in the building when Boston was winning championships. But the other day, Mitch Johnson said the Spurs played with appropriate fear.
Yep.
Pop used to say that all the time. They need to play with appropriate fear.
Well, I have a feeling, Frank, that if you were to ask Mitch Johnson, he would tell you that everything he's doing now, everything that he learned from Greg Popovich, and it's got a little bit of his spin on it as well. But appreciate the phone call. Yeah, appreciate the phone call, Frank. It's an interesting discussion, and we can continue this throughout the show. I just thought it's a great article. If you get an opportunity to go to The Athletic and read this article, I recommend it. It's an easy read, and I don't know, it puts a different light on Greg Popovich that maybe you didn't have before. I've seen Pop, and I've seen how players respond to him, and not just his players. I've seen Steph Curry seek Pop out to give him a hug. I've seen LeBron James do the same thing. I've seen a lot of players do that, and the respect that Greg Popovich has around the NBA is just incredible. And let me tell you this. Tim Duncan, would you arguably the best, greatest power forward in NBA history? It's a debate, I understand, but to me, he is. Tim Duncan goes to the gym with Pop for his rehab every time. Tim Duncan is there with Pop when he rehabs because of his stroke every time. Because Tim believes and has said this, and that Pop, without Pop, he wouldn't be who he became. So he feels like, I don't know if it's a payback, a respect, a father figure, whatever the case may be, one of the greatest players to ever play the game credits his head coach for the success that he had and is giving back and loves that man like a father. Now, Tim has never said that to me, but that's what I can assume. And I just think the heart of Tim Duncan, number one, is enormous. And the fact that they have this bond is spectacular, and I think it's fantastic. We're going to talk a lot. There's a lot of interest on this topic, and I want to get to everybody. So if you've got a line, Jason, Joshua, hang there just a minute, and we'll get to you when we continue on the other side. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Want to talk to you, though, about my good friends at Stevens Roofing and Solar. You know, I've been talking about these folks for a long time. I absolutely love them. I really do. They're a great family, and they do great work. And I know this for a number of reasons. I've seen their work, number one. Number two, they've been in business since 1983. I mean, that should be all I need to say. 1983. Think about that. You don't stay in business that long in any business if you're not doing it right. And Stevens Roofing is certainly doing it right. They stand behind their work, they do quality work, and they take care of their customers. We've had all kinds of rain, all kinds of storms, all kinds of stuff. And if that's had an effect, or you think it has had an effect on your roof, Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994. You need to give them a call because they'll send a crew out to your house. They'll inspect your roof, and they'll do it for free. They'll let you know if there's any issues that need to be taken care of. And why would you let them leave? If there's an issue up there, have them take care of it because you know it's going to get done right. They also do solar panels, too. If you've been thinking about solar panels, Stevens Roofing and Solar is the company you need to deal with. They are the absolute best in the business. Don't put it off because you know there's more storms coming. They're coming. It's springtime in San Antonio. That's what happens. Give Stevens Roofing and Solar a call. Get that problem solved. 210-785-0994, or you can visit them online at stevensroofing.net.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
The 10-yard line. Touchdown Vegas. What a wild finish.
Your home for the NFL.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Individual results may vary.
Right now, I have 24 different units. I think that's 15 separate properties. I trust Ownwell with all my properties. I trust them to fight for me with the appraisal district as best they can. And they've done a very good job. Ownwell is making my life more efficient, making me a better landlord. Using Ownwell, I've saved on average about $10,000 a year. That's a lot of money.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be reduced. Ownwell combines savvy technology and deep local expertise to save real estate owners real money. Want to see how much Ownwell can save you on your property taxes? Just enter an address and see your tax savings estimate. See how much you can save with Ownwell right now. But hurry, deadlines to file end this week. Text SAVE to 64,000. Text SAVE to 64,000. That's SAVE to 64,000.
San Antonio's newest sports headquarters, Novo Brewery. Craft beers, full bar, hard kombucha on tap, a handcrafted food menu, and massive LED screens. Attached to North Star Mall with late hours. Visit NovoBrew.com. That's NOVOBrew.com.
The Colonel's cooked up a new $10 bucket of the day just for you. Monday, 24 nuggets for $10. Tuesday, 8-piece fried chicken for $10. Wednesday, 10 wings for $10. Thursday, 8 tenders for $10. Friday, 24 nuggets for... Oh, you guessed it, didn't you? $10. The $10 bucket of the day deal. Every weekday. Only at KFC. It's finger licking good.
Prices and participation vary while supplies last. Not available on third-party ordering platforms. Tax extra.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the OKC Thunder and the New York Knicks are just sitting back and waiting to see who they're going to play. Last night, the Cleveland Cavaliers got a little closer. They knock off Detroit to take a 3-2 series lead. Game 6 tomorrow night in Cleveland at 6. And, of course, that's followed by the Spurs-Timberwolves Game 6 from Minnesota. Tip-off there set for 8:30. Tonight, the NFL schedule release is released. You can catch it all right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome in on a Thursday afternoon. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, well, he's out for a few days. Got a death in the family. His mother passed away, and, of course, thoughts and prayers to the Minix family as they deal with that. And if you get an opportunity to say something to Jason on social media or otherwise, please do so. Let him know that you support him and you're there for him. So he'll be back whenever he takes care of business, and whenever that happens to be, well, he'll be back and we'll move on. Until then, well, I'm Joe Reinagel, and we're going to continue our discussion here. And wait a minute. Caden, what are you doing here?
Heard this was a sports channel. I wanted to come here and talk about sports.
Do you know anything about sports?
I know a lot about sports.
Now, you've been on the I mean, you're our engineer, right? So, I mean,
usually the on-site engineer.
Well, the on-site engineer at least, right? But dude, I don't know if we've ever had a conversation. Have we?
We've had like essential conversations, just nothing beyond like 5 minutes.
Nothing beyond like, hey, how you doing, and what's going on, and do you want a pizza?
Yeah.
We've had that conversation before, right?
Basically, surface level stuff.
Now, we're on YouTube, obviously streaming, and I got to point out something because you're a big Cobra Kai fan.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Watched every episode.
Yeah?
Yep.
Did you see the movie Karate Kid?
The OG, yes, I've seen it.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a Ralph Macchio guy or the blonde?
Or the Johnny Lawrence type. Well, I got Cobra Kai on, so I'm all Johnny Lawrence.
Wow,
Johnny Lawrence was the Karate Kid.
Come on now.
When you get down to it, basically. Yeah.
Sweep the leg. Sweep the leg. Well, dude, we're talking Spurs basketball, and I know you've been following that closely because I know you've been following that closely, haven't you?
Close as I can.
Well, why wouldn't you? I don't understand.
I have a lot of other interests, but, I mean.
Dude, there is no other interest in San Antonio than the San Antonio Spurs.
Here in San Antonio, I've watched all the Spurs games. Yes, of course.
By the way, this is Caden Mayo, and you've heard him on the air before, and well, we're talking some Spurs basketball, but we're getting some phone calls here, so I want to take one. Let's go to line 3 at 656-3776. Carlos, welcome to the Blitz.
Hello?
Carlos, you're on the air.
Hey, are you guys watching the Spurs?
Yes, of course, aren't you?
Yeah. Hey, what do you guys like to eat during the games?
Wow,
Do you guys like hot dogs?
Caden, I'll let you answer that.
Well,
how many hot dogs can you eat?
How many hot dogs can I eat? I can eat
I love wieners.
At least 2.
At least 2? That's it?
Just 2?
That's just my preference. Yeah, I'm not big on.
What's wrong? Why can't you eat more?
I mean, if I have a sports game, I just want to watch the game. I'm not really interested in eating that much.
Are you a hot dog aficionado there, Carlos?
Yeah, I love hot dogs.
Well, how do you like your hot dogs? You chili or without?
How do you like your hot dogs?
Well, I asked you first. A little chili on there, some mustard, maybe some onion sometimes if I'm feeling frisky. Hey, Seymour Wiener.
What?
Hey, thanks, Carlos. Appreciate you. Sometimes you get wacky callers. Okay, now you really do. So what do you think, Carter Bryant, what do you think he's added to this series?
Who?
Carter Bryant.
Carter Bryant. Oh, yeah. I think he basically adds like it's more like, I'm trying to figure out the best way to phrase it. It's more like a good like role player and like he has he's on the shorter side, but I think he adds like a good like dynamic to like when if they want to go small, then they can go more small ball whenever
Do you like the cornrows?
The what?
The cornrows that he just put in. I mean, I don't know. You a fan of those? Cornrows. It's a hairdo, and he
those.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the term of those.
Okay, gotcha.
Those hairstyles,
yeah.
but yeah,
he looks good. Doesn't he?
They look pretty good. Yeah.
Now, if I were to ask you, how old do you think Carter Bryant is?
I would guess 25.
No.
13.
Yeah, I would say he's probably 11.
Oh.
I mean, he's got a baby face to him, don't you think?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So the Spurs are going to Minnesota for a Game 6, and it's huge. They can close out the Timberwolves. Tell me, Caden, in your opinion, what do they need to do to get that dub?
What they need to do is play defense.
Mm-hmm.
I would say first and foremost, which I know they can do because they have the reigning Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And I would.
What's his name? Do you know?
His name's Victor Wembanyama.
Okay, thank you. I'm just checking. Just checking.
I know that much.
Gotcha.
Yes, and I would also say that they need to score more on the perimeter.
I would say if they score more points in Minnesota, they'll probably win.
I would think so.
That'd be the case.
I think that's how it works.
Yeah, but typically that's how it works. Are you a pretty good engineer?
I like to think I am.
On-site engineer?
On-site engineer. I'm the best of the best.
Okay, good. Well, that's great because as a talk show host, you not so good.
I'm kind of fumbling the bag a little bit.
Well, that's all right. I mean, it happens. It happens. Minix does the same thing, but it's all right. I carried him just like I carry you too, so it's fine. Love you, Caden. You can go now.
Okay, this was fun.
Good seeing you. Yeah, that's awesome. Go study, young man. Go study. Caden Mayo, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. You know, sometimes people just walk around and they end up in places where they probably shouldn't be. Good job, Caden. I like the shirt, buddy. We are talking Spurs basketball. If you got a phone line, hang on there, Jason, Joshua. We got two Joshuas hanging on there. We're talking about Greg Popovich and is he the Spurs' secret weapon? That's the article in The Athletic, and that's what we're talking about. You guys got a phone line, hang on there. We will get to you when we return here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Window Nation. I want to talk to you about Window Nation, a new sponsor here for us on San Antonio Sports Star. And what I love about these guys is when they first came on board, they brought all their stuff in. And they gave us a demonstration of how their windows work and how they can save you a lot of money. And let me tell you what they did. They got this hot light, right? And they put it on the outside of the window, and it didn't come in at all. So that tells you the heat doesn't come in. Your air conditioner's not going to go out, and that's going to save you a ton of money. Look, if your electric bill's high in the summertime, guess what? It's probably your windows because all that air conditioning is going to the outside. If you've been thinking about new windows, now is the perfect opportunity to get that done because Window Nation has got a great deal going on. It's called Buy 4, Get 4 Free Sale. Think about this. Imagine replacing all those windows and getting half of them for free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down, no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. It is an incredible deal. Get this, that's not where it ends. Window Nation offers a lifetime warranty. Plus, they're rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. Why are you waiting? Why not give Window Nation an opportunity to save you money? That's what they do with their Buy 4, Get 4 Free sale going on now. It's a great sale. It's not going to last forever. So here's what you need to do. Go to windownation.com. That's windownation.com. That's how you book your consultation.
All right, our Sports Star crew, listen up. If you want to keep winning in life like our San Antonio Spurs do on the court, head over to Game Day Men's Health. Cibolo Shirts or Alamo Ranch, the roster stacked with all-stars just like our Spurs. Experts trained in hormonal health, erectile dysfunction, weight loss, advanced peptide therapies. Why go to the G League when you can take your talents straight to the top, baby? Whether you're tired all the time, you've got low energy, maybe you've got some weight gain or the brain fog, maybe you need a little help in the bedroom. I'm not here to judge. They've got you covered. Their Hall of Fame team and services like testosterone replacement and peptide therapies will get you back in the game. Located in Alamo Ranch or choose the Cibolo Shirts location on I-35 and 3009 across the highway from HEB. Call 830-376-9100 or visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com and book your appointment today. Win back your health, win back your life. It's game day. Let's go. That's 830-376-9100.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Almost 90 years ago, Academy Sports and Outdoors was born right here in Texas. So we know a thing or two about a thing or two. Like beans don't belong in chili. It's called a feeder road. And how far really means how long. We've been your neighbor for generations. That's why we're adding Texas-sized deals across the store, only in Texas. If you happen to find a better price at a competitor, we'll beat it by 5%. Academy. Fun can't lose.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable. with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
On the next Morning Huddle, it's a game day ball. The Spurs are tipping. What's your game day ritual? We'll look at their game, the NFL schedule, the other NBA games, and everything else that's happening in your big world. Join us early. We're going to have to. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Back on the Blitz on a Thursday afternoon, game day eve, we're calling this. Spurs game 6 in Minnesota tomorrow night. I'm assuming they've arrived. If they haven't, they got to be pretty damn close. The Spurs left about 1:30 this afternoon, something like that, closer to 2, but they are headed to Minneapolis if they're not there already, getting ready for that game 6 tomorrow night. 8:30 tip-off. It will be televised on Prime Video. Prime.
What did those papers do to you?
Nothing, man. I was just going to the music, buddy. You know, hey, let's go. Just rocking.
Thinking about that squirrel again?
Rocking. Dude, somebody said that on our YouTube page, too. They're giving me a hard time for running over a squirrel. If you weren't with us at the first of the show, I ran over a squirrel today. Didn't mean to. The little guy just ran right out in front of me.
He says he didn't mean to. He swerved.
Well, I had no idea. It was just like, bam, he was there. Maybe I might have been not paying attention. I don't know. Maybe not. But I felt horrible about it for a while. But I mean, you know, you don't run over a squirrel every day, and it's just kind of it's not fun. So that's what happened. People are making fun of me, making me cry during the break. I had to get some Kleenex in here, and I had to think about that dead squirrel now. And the problem is close to my house. So like when I'm driving home today, I'm probably going to see a dead squirrel and probably buzzards all around it.
Oh, is it close enough to where it can haunt your house?
Yeah, it could. Damn.
His spirit's not going to leave you alone.
This is not good. We're talking a little, Greg. We've got some folks on the line that want to comment. And before we went to break, and before we had our special guest, Caden, we were talking about this article in The Athletic, which I find the timing of it kind of interesting. And we're just talking about Greg Popovich. The title of this, or the headline, is How Greg Popovich Quietly Became the Spurs' Secret Weapon. And the quote is, he's speaking life into you. Devin Vassell, that's a quote from Devin Vassell, I believe. And when they're talking about Greg Popovich, he's been around the practice site all season long, and then very visible here during this playoff run. And I guess perhaps the most visible portion of that was at the airport with Victor Wembanyama, meeting the team as they returned from Minneapolis after Wemby was ejected from that Game 4, which, of course, the Spurs lost. Wemby was a different guy in Game 5. And I don't know if y'all noticed that or not, but his demeanor was such. It was completely different. From a frazzled player, the way I saw it in Game 4, to making a dumb mistake, to a player in Game 5 that just, they're confident, everything was going the way it should be. Nobody's going to bother me. And I'm assuming Greg Popovich had a lot to do with that. Let's talk about it with you. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Let's go to the phone lines. Joshua's been hanging on the longest. Let's go. Joshua, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, Joe. Thanks for taking the call. First off, just want to say thoughts and prayers with Minix. I hope everything's okay with him in Copper's Cove. It's a truly hard thing to lose a family member, especially a parent like that. So Minix, we love you. Hope to see you back soon, brother. Thoughts and prayers. Now, second, I want to talk about this because as being the number one Mitch hater, we have to stop this by saying Greg Popovich is a secret weapon. Mitch is out there making all the lineups, making all the adjustments in game. Yes, Pop is talking to players on the side, but I don't think it means much. And also remember, are we saying this Popovich is the reason why they're 60-20 and they're now doing this well in the playoffs? Because last I remember, since 2019, the Spurs haven't seen a winning season, and that was with Coach Popovich as the head coach. So you're telling me all of a sudden he knows how to coach again? No, this is all Mitch Johnson. He's getting the Brock Purdy treatment. I don't like it. Again, I have always questioned this guy.
I'm done with the Brock Purdy slander.
And I am done with Mitch Johnson slander. This is just outrageous. And thoughts and prayers to the squirrel that Joe killed, him and his family too.
Yeah,
all right, guys.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Love y'all.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well played, Josh.
There's a bunch of baby squirrels running around. Mama, where are you? Oh, man, I'm going to have a nightmare tonight.
They're going to build a nest.
Well, yeah, whatever.
They're just going to relocate to your attic.
It's an interesting comment that Joshua brings up. I mean, is Mitch Johnson getting the Brock Purdy treatment? I think that's kind of a pretty good analogy in a lot of ways. But when I see an article like this, Greg Popovich quietly has become the Spurs' secret weapon. Again, what do you think? 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Let's go back to the phone lines. And Amon, did I pronounce that correctly?
Oh, it's Ammon, Jammin' Ammon. But
Ammon, gotcha. Welcome to the Blitz.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for taking my call. So I do think Popovich actually is a secret weapon. I mean, he's always known how to coach, but sometimes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So if you don't have the right pieces during our rebuild time, you could coach them till the cows come home, but you can't make a playoff run with it. So I don't think any of the players want to be the one that Popovich is waiting for as soon as they land. So I think he is the secret weapon. One, two. I think he does something that Mitch doesn't do. I think Mitch isn't as animated. He doesn't flail and get technicals and call out the Parkers of the group in front of the nation. Mitch just quietly weathers the storm. But Popovich, he knows how to, at his older age, weather that storm with the players and be like, look, this is what you've got to do. I want some nasty, and your coach may not say it, but this is what I expect. I groomed Mitch, and he may not be the one to do it, but this is what I expect. And then to the squirrel, I saw the squirrel get hit on my way out one day, came back, and as I was driving back, I saw the squirrel pop back up. It just got knocked out. So hopefully that's what happened.
Maybe that's it. Thank you. Thank you for that. Finally somebody with something positive to say. Maybe he just jumped right back up. He was just, frazzled for a minute, and then he was just fine.
That squirrel's dead.
Well, I mean, it was a thump. So I think I got him with two tires. So I don't know. I appreciate it, guys, all the encouragement. Maybe Pop's going to meet me outside in the parking lot tonight and give me a pep talk about the squirrel. Yeah, that'd be kind of nice. We'll see what happens. I'll let y'all know. Back to the phone lines we go. Guy with a great name on the phone lines right now. Joe, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, brother.
You got it, brother. What's going on?
So first of all, I want to say, that squirrel's probably dead, man. But he should have been on the road, right? Should have been on the road.
Yes, stay off the
There you
road.
go. So, yeah, no, I wanted to say I think Popovich has done enough for this franchise where he can talk to players like he's doing. I think he's done enough. And if he was to run for mayor, you know how he'd win in a landslide. It's Popovich. I don't think he's overstepping, in my opinion.
Well, I'm not sure that anybody thinks he's overstepping. I just don't know what that does to Mitch Johnson, and I think, and maybe I'm making too big a deal out of that because I think Mitch Johnson has done a hell of a job, and I have a lot of respect for what he's done.
For sure.
But to have that guy over your shoulder, and again, I have to believe that Mitch is on board with it.
Yeah, I feel that too. I don't think Popovich just shows up when he wants. I think he had a talk with not just the coach, but several people, and everybody's good with it. I don't see Popovich trying to mess up chemistry or anything like that. So I think it's good. It's good for the team.
Awesome. Joe, appreciate the phone call. If you want to get in and chime in on this particular subject, you're welcome to do so. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You can get me on Twitter at Joe Reinagel 210, or you go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page and like and subscribe while you're there. You go to sasportstar.com is a good way to get there. So, look, there's a couple of things that bug me about Mitch Johnson. I think he's done a great job. I think he should be considered heavily for Coach of the Year this year. I think he's done a tremendous job, especially under the circumstances, coming in the way he did last year when Pop had his stroke, and then taking over this team and putting his stamp on it. I think he's done all of that. But when I see an article like that in The Athletic, and again, it's well done, and I recommend it. It is a good read. That Greg Popovich has become the Spurs' secret weapon. To me, that takes a little bit away from Mitch in my mind. I will be honest with you, and I'm curious to see what you guys think. I was really upset when Mitch, after Wemby's elbow the other night, and Mitch got on the podium and started talking about how they're not protecting him, and he's got to take up for himself and all of that kind of stuff. Look, I'm okay with that. If he would have come up and thrown a fit on the floor before that, maybe in Game 3, maybe in Game 2, when he felt like his star player was not being treated right, get a technical foul. And I think sometimes that makes a difference. Greg Popovich, and I told this to somebody earlier, I think would have had about 4 techs already in this series. I mean, and he'd probably thrown out of a couple of these games because that's what he would have done. Now, I get it. They're two different people, 2 different coaching styles. I understand that. But I think sometimes you've got to throw a fit during the game, not after the game, during the game, and make everybody take notice and that you think the officials are not protecting your star player and they're letting the other team get away with this and that. Stand up, yell. Go crazy. Have your coaches hold you back. All of that kind of stuff. Look, I think it makes a difference. I get where Mitch Johnson's a calm, cool, collected kind of guy, and that's his style. But I honestly believe in the world of basketball, when you throw a fit, when you start flailing around and yelling and you get teed up and your coaches are holding you back, then you're pointing out to everybody in that arena that your player's getting mistreated. And it's got to stop. And if it doesn't stop, then you continue on in the post-game podium. The next day, you talk about the officials. But I just think it makes a difference. In my mind, it does. Because I can remember Greg Popovich doing it a lot, and it seemed to not only change the officials' minds at times, but it changed the attitude of your team. And it changed the attitude of the team. And all of a sudden, you're better. For what you're doing. And so that's what I would like to see more of. But again, I have a great deal of respect for Mitch Johnson. I do, and I think he's done a tremendous job. I just don't like the timing of this article and the tone of it, where it seems to give Pop a lot of credit for the success that this team has had. And maybe that's true, and maybe it's okay, and I'm making too big a deal out of it, but that's kind of the way I feel about it. A lot of people want to talk about this particular subject. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Let's go back to the phone lines. Rudy, welcome to the Blitz, buddy.
Hey, what's up? I was just going to say, I do believe Mitch Johnson is calling the game. I think Pop's just there to mentor the players. Because as you can see, sometimes Mitch Johnson doesn't always cause timeouts. It can be frustrating, And then when the players are jacking up threes, I think it's all Mitch Johnson is what I'm trying to say. Pop's just there to mentor, keep Wemby, cool down, keep the players from getting out of hands. So that's all I wanted to just say, just add it. So it's all Mitch.
Yep, appreciate the phone call, Rudy. Appreciate it a lot. 656-3776. Let's go back. Kevin's been waiting. Kevin, what do you think about this?
I think that's a good report for the Atlantic. It starts with Pop and it goes down. Remember Becky Hammond? She was a top assistant coach. Guess what? She won 3 championships for the Las Vegas Aces. You know, and then you got Mike Brown, got the Spurs system in New York, and it passed down. Same thing with Portland, but Portland did Thiago Splitter wrong. He's the one that got them in the playoffs.
I got you. I see where you're coming from. So, it's an interesting subject, an interesting article, and I'm assuming you've read it, Kevin. Have you?
No, I didn't read it, but I'm gonna read it sooner or later.
All right, brother. Appreciate the phone call, man. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate that. Let's get back to the phone lines. A lot of interest in this particular subject from Spurs fans. Let's go to Wookie. Wookie, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, what's up, SK? I mean, that's your new name, Joe. You're a squirrel killer now.
Yeah, thanks,
squirrel
buddy.
Killer.
Thanks, yeah.
You're
Yeah, there's something wrong with your phone line, Wookie. I don't know.
No,
it
you
might
sound
go
great.
out at any time.
Oh, man, you know I love you, brother. But, hey, just my whole thing on this is, let's just look at the obvious. The Spurs just got better, man. These guys are just playing together more games. The more games you play together, even if it's pick-up ball with your friends or the NBA, you get better the more you're accustomed to each other, playing everything. So a lot of it just has to go with, regardless of coach, these guys are really gelling and becoming better basketball players as a team. Now, I'm not a Mitch Johnson fan either. Most people outside of San Antonio don't even know who he is, and I feel like we barely know who he is. But when you have Popovich, I mean, the Mount Rushmore of coaches of the NBA in your back pocket, if he wasn't being at these practices or anything like that, we would question, where is he? Why are we not, using his brain and his input? So I feel bad for Mitch because he's in a no-win situation as long as Popovich is around to be able to help out. And at the end of the day, the Spurs are just getting better. And maybe it's a little bit with the coaching. I just think they've just gelled.
All right, Wookie, I appreciate that. And that makes sense, and I think they have. And I certainly think Wemby has improved. I mean, let's face it, his first year when he came in here, he looked lost. Now, he doesn't look lost. He just looks good. So, yes, and I agree with that in a lot of ways. If Pop wasn't on the floor, I don't think anybody would think anything of it, to be totally honest with you, because nobody would know what kind of shape he's in. I think, and that's another thing that I think people are happy about. You're seeing Greg Popovich walking around. You're seeing him getting around, and I take that as a great sign. I really do. I take that as a great sign. He seems to be improving. The rehab's working, and Pop is back to being Greg Popovich as much as he can be, and I welcome that. That's for sure. Patrick, welcome to the Blitz. Hello, Patrick.
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. By the way, I love the show, listening, enjoying it.
Thank
Great
you.
day for it, man. Let's say go Spurs go. Let's not forget that. And I agree with you about everything he said for the most part about Pop, except the word fit. I don't call it a fit, man. I call it passion. And that's what we are in San Antonio, dude. We are passionate about our Spurs.
Okay. So when I say Mitch should throw a fit, I know he's passionate about the Spurs. I don't think there's any question about that. I'm just saying that sometimes I think you've got to say, hey, this is wrong, and I'm not going to stand for it anymore.
I mean, personally, dude, I think Coach Popovich is on the Mount Rushmore of coaches. He can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. Like the guy before who called, if Pop wants to be mayor, dude, he's got my vote all day. I love our Spurs. I love Popovich. I love him. I love the way we're going. And we're going to take it all the way this year. You know it. We know it. And we're going to bring home that championship this year, aren't we?
I would not be surprised, Patrick. That is for sure. The way they're playing right now, it would not surprise me one bit. Appreciate the phone call, my friend. Thanks for chiming in on that thing. Jorge says, guys, Mitch Johnson is the I'm assuming that's the only coach, Uno coach up the players at the game. Not sure what that is. What were we talking about here? I love Coach Pop, but he's not there at the games. No more Mitch Johnson is. So I think I understand what you're trying to say there, Jorge, but look, I get it. I get it. But I think the players, if you read this article, and maybe it changes your mind, maybe it doesn't, but these players appreciate sitting down on that bench with Pop and picking his brain and listening to what he has to say. because the quotes in this article are talking about, and Devin Vassell, he says he's going to tell you the truth. And I have a feeling that's what he did with Wemby the other day at the airport. And he flat out said, look, you can't be doing that. Don't do it again. You can't be. And I don't know about y'all, but I saw a different demeanor in Victor Wembanyama on that particular day, on Game 5, than he was in Game 4. Game 4, they were getting under his skin. He was frazzled, and he made the mistake that he made. Game 5, there was none of that, man. I didn't see any of that. All I saw was calm, cool, and collected Victor Wembanyama. So whatever Pop said to him, to me, did the trick. We got one more caller up there right now, and you're more than welcome to continue this conversation. That's for sure. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Let's go to Ray. Ray, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, appreciate you guys taking my call. Yeah, Pop is the GOAT. I miss Pop. I wish Pop would be around to coach this team. That'd be a lot of fun. I just feel like he did set us up for success. I'm not a huge Mitch Johnson fan, as you guys know. I feel like the Spurs were a little ahead of schedule this year, and now that Spurs are championship worthy, I just kind of feel like we would benefit a little bit better with a veteran coach. I get it. Mitch just does things a little bit differently. He's new school, new blood. Doesn't call timeouts into the game, has a deep rotation. I get it. It's different. Maybe that's what we need. But man, I just miss Pop. Thank you guys again for taking my call.
I appreciate it, Ray. I appreciate you calling in here today. And a lot of people want to chime in on this. If you do, hang tight there. If you've got a phone line, hang on to it. We got to take a break. We're late for that. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Greg Popovich, the secret weapon to the success of the San Antonio Spurs. We'll continue this conversation when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. The best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text BAIL to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online. MyBestBailBonds.com is the website. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. A lot of reasons for that. And you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. They have offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down along the coast, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online, mybestbailbonds.com. When snack time calls, Pork Rinds answers. Be your own crunch time hero with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Skip the chip and go straight for the ultimate crunch that's low carb, high protein, and loaded with bold flavor. We're talking sweet barbecue or hot honey. Yeah, it's that good. Snack smarter, crunch harder. Stock up on Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B or head to porkrinds.com. Make Southern Recipe your crunch time hero. We have meaningful basketball being played in San Antonio for the first time in years, and the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to go watch the games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
San Antonio's newest sports headquarters, Novo Brewery. Juicy, thick-cut ribeye, picanha prime sirloin, Brazilian empanadas, stacked burgers, and more. This is bring your appetite food. Novo is attached to North Star Mall with late hours. Visit NovoBrew.com.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio and have been practicing law here since 1994. And in the past 30-plus years, I've helped hundreds of San Antonians injured by negligent drivers. If you've been injured in a car-truck collision, call me, 210-900-0400. I did want to let you know of a very disturbing trend I've seen that you really need to be aware of. If an attorney or someone acting on that attorney's behalf calls you after a traffic collision, with very limited exceptions, that is called barratry or solicitation. It's a crime and is unethical under our state bar rules. Do not answer these phone calls. Do not hire an unethical attorney. Neither I nor anyone in my firm will ever call you after a traffic collision. If you need my help, and if you've been injured in a traffic collision, I think you do, you'll need to call me. My name is Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400, or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
Your summer starts now with Memorial Day deals at the Home Depot. It's time to fire up summer cookouts with the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill on special buy for only $199. And entertain all season with the Hampton Bay West Grove 7-piece outdoor dining set for only $499. This Memorial Day, get low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. While supplies last, price and valid May 14th through May 27th. U.S. only, exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
All right, step up. If you really know the Rangers, this is your game on Rangers Game Day. Make your call. In the morning huddles, Ranger Double Dinger Payday. Pick the Ranger who takes one deep. He hits one, you're in. Ranger tickets. He hits two. Now we're talking tickets and a hotel stay. Big swings, big rewards. Wake up with the morning huddle and cash in with the morning huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
Oh, boy, interesting stuff we're talking about here on the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix, he's off today. Pledge is here, however. He's making the good music there. That's good music, Pledge. I like that. Little jazzy feel to it, kind of. Yeah. I've heard this song. It's an oldie but goodie, huh?
I would hope you've heard this. It's Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yes. Very good. Outstanding. We are talking about Greg Popovich being the secret weapon for the San Antonio Spurs, as suggested by the headline in The Athletic. And it's caused a lot of you folks out there to chime in one way or the other. My question was, when I saw that headline, Greg Popovich has become the secret weapon of the San Antonio Spurs, and which I think he always has been. I mean, back in the dynasty days, the 20 straight years of making the playoffs and 5 championships, by the way. Greg Popovich was certainly a secret weapon. They have some pretty good players too, like, I don't know, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Monty Ginobili, all those guys.
Why do you hate Mitch Johnson?
I don't. I have a great deal of respect for Mitch Johnson. I'm asking the question, does that take something away from Mitch? And I respect Mitch. I respect the job that he's done, but the and I'm not saying Mitch wants, craves, whatever credit in an article like this, and maybe he doesn't, because I have to believe he's on board with Greg Popovich doing what he's doing. When you look at the article, it simply says, and a lot of players are quoted in this article. It's in The Athletic. If you get an opportunity to go read it, how the inspiration, the knowledge, Pop telling these guys the truth, and they appreciate it, even though they're young. And that was always the knock on Pop, especially during that time when they weren't doing very well, and it was kind of a rebuild. And I heard a lot of Spurs fans say, well, Pop's just too old. He doesn't relate to the young players anymore. Well, apparently he still does, at least to the young players that are on this team. So my question is, it's very simple, and I'm just wondering what you think. Does this take anything away from what Mitch Johnson has accomplished and achieved this year? For me, I don't think it does. I really don't, because I think Mitch Johnson is on board with this. And I don't think it would. I don't think Pop would step in otherwise, unless he had the blessing of the now head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. You want to chime in? 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Get me on Twitter at Joe Reinagel 210, or you go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, like and subscribe at said YouTube page, and you can comment there. sasportstar.com is the best way to get there. Let's go back to the phone lines. Ray is hanging on. Let's go to Ray. Ray, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, Joe, thanks for taking my call, man. So if you remember in the beginning of the series, I was the one that called when you were Joe and said we'd sweep them, and me and you were supposed to have a beer bet.
Oh, was that you?
It was. So, hey, I was wrong, but I did come up with a new name for winning in 6. It's called the French Sweep.
The French Sweep. All right. Okay, very good.
But anyways, look, I wanted to open your mind to this. I think that's getting overlooked with Wemby, man, is honestly how good he is at this age at, like, coaching the team. I think, dude, he's as much to give credit as Mitch is, and Mitch is going to have to deal with this whole career. But you know how if I ask you who's the head coach of the Lakers, you say
J.J. Redick,
right? Or LeBron, right? Because LeBron picked him. You see what I mean?
I got you.
And so I think there's an aspect to that about Wemby that we're overlooking. I think he's that good at this age, man, where he's as much to credit with the way that they're playing, and you see his demeanor on the court. He's not shy about it. And when you have a superstar like that, Mitch is always going to have to deal with that. That's how good Wemby is. Well, and that's a great problem to have, isn't it?
Well, you know, Ray, and Greg Popovich was always the first to tell you, great players make great coaches.
Yep.
And that's true. And I think Mitch would probably agree with that. Ray, appreciate it. I'll wait for my beer at some point in time. I'm kidding.
You're gonna have to pour it out for the squirrel.
Dude, stop with the squirrel. You know, I shouldn't have. I knew you guys would be just brutal with me today. I hit a squirrel.
No, it was brutal. It's the inside of that squirrel now on the outside.
I hit a squirrel on the way home from the gym this morning, and I really feel bad. And you guys have not done anything to make me feel any better. So I appreciate all of you. Yeah, that's it. Let's go back to the phone line, 656-3776. HT, you're on the Blitz, man. What's going on?
Hey, Joe. Thank you for taking my call. I do agree with you as far as Mitch being a little bit reserved. I feel that he waits a little bit too long sometimes to call timeouts and get things organized, and it may come back to bite the Spurs in the butt in the long run. But as far as the article is concerned, with Coach Pop has been. I mean, if you look at it, every great coach has always had a mentor. I mean, so if you want to look at it that way, and as far as being a secret weapon, Coach Pop was a secret weapon to Steve Kerr. And him going to Golden State and the dynamic behind that whole offense. I'm pretty sure Steve Kerr was reaching out to him from time to time, and just like Bill Parcells being in the league and the amount of coaches that he is mentored as well. But that's all I wanted to say about that. But thank you for taking my call.
HT, appreciate the phone call and appreciate what you're talking about. And I get being a mentor. I understand that. But what I'm saying here, I guess, is the fact that the way this article is written, it just seems like they're giving Pop the credit for the Spurs' success. And while he deserves that by talking to the players, I think Mitch Johnson is getting left out a little bit, and I don't think that that's right either. Even though I disagree with some of the things Mitch does or doesn't do from a game to a game, but I think he's done a hell of a job, and I have a great deal of respect for Mitch Johnson. Let's go back to the phone lines. We'll go to Ryan. Ryan, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, so I got a take on this. I think first off, I'm going to say Popovich is absolutely a secret sauce. no doubt about it, but it's how he's the secret sauce for this team that is actually because of Mitch Johnson being elevated to the coach. Mitch Johnson has allowed these young guys to kind of figure it out on their own a little bit, and I've actually loved that. That's why I think we are ahead of schedule, is because he's seen that he has these players who are mature enough to begin making these basketball decisions on their own and let them figure it out. He's not going to call timeout. He's not going to call timeout because he wants them to figure it out. He doesn't want to tell them. He wants to see what they can come up with, and I think they've done great with that. And then having the Mr. Miyagi, the old wise one in the back corner who can meet you at the airport when you need to be put in line and tell you what's going on and tell you how you need to fix something when you are out of line and when you are doing something a little stupid, it's like the perfect potion that we have. It's a double-edged sword that we got, and it happens to be a really good double-edged sword that we have. So I think it's fantastic to have both of them equal credit. Mitch Johnson doing a wonderful thing. That's why we are ahead of schedule as a championship contender, which I don't think we would be if Pop was the head coach. But having him on the sidelines, whispering into the ear when people get back in, magic.
Interesting take, Ryan. I appreciate the phone call, and I like the Mr. Miyagi reference there. That fits. Not bad. 656-3776, 656 ESPN. Back to the phone lines we go. Joshua, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, what's up, Joe? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Thanks for the call.
Hey, don't feel bad about the squirrel. I'm a truck driver here. Look. And I hit animals all the time, man. These squirrels and these deer. Sometimes it's just out of your control.
It was, man. It was his fault. The little SOB just darted right out in front of me.
What a privilege, huh? What a privilege it is to have this kind of topic where we're talking about Coach Pop and Mitch Johnson here. That is insane. I think Mitch Johnson is doing a great job, but I think Pop has earned that right within our organization to have a saying, whether it's to the players or anything like that. We call him El Jefe for a reason, man. And I want you to know I wear my Spurs gear loud and proud every state that I go to. And everyone says, man, you guys are spoiled. Your fan base, you guys are so lucky, this and the draft. It's great. It's a great feeling.
That's awesome, man. Hey, stay safe out there, Joshua, and thank you for what you do, man. Appreciate you. Oh, my goodness. See, there's one guy that makes me feel a little bit better about being a squirrel killer.
SK.
Yes, exactly right. Oh, my goodness. Back to the phone lines we go. We'll take one more call. Chris been hanging on. Chris, what do you got to say about this topic?
Man, I love Mitch Johnson. I think that he's been doing a great job. And I think that, Pop is kind of like the grandfather that you can get good advice from. Yeah. But it's really the day-to-day decisions that Mitch is making that are winning us games. It's kind of like Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra, right? There's a culture that happens because you have the old guy that's the sensei and then the master, and you have a new leader that's on the court and making all the calls, and it makes it better. Both of them are better because they're together.
Outstanding. That's a good take, Chris. I appreciate the phone call. And I appreciate all of you calling in and chiming in on this. And I had no idea that this article would get everybody is not fired up is not the right word, but interested. But I think it's a good topic. And Pop has been more visible, and maybe a big part of that is because he's just able to now. There was a while where he was not able to. Pop looks good for what he's suffered and went through and has been working his butt off to get back to. He looks good. And look,
thank you, Tim.
Yeah, and Tim Duncan, if you weren't with us earlier in the show, shout out to Tim Duncan because part of this, The Athletic's got an article, and part of this article, in fact, is Tim Duncan, what he does. He goes to rehab with Pop just about every day. He's there. Doesn't have to. I don't think Pop even asked him to, but Tim goes, and he does it on his own because he wants to be there for Greg Popovich. That's the kind of respect that Tim Duncan has for Greg Popovich, and I think it's mutual, obviously, because those two were a great team. And the way that it looks, I mean, I don't think either one of them have the success that they had without the other. And so I love to see that. But you know what? It's just Tim's a great guy. He's a great guy with a big heart, and so it really doesn't surprise me. And I'll never forget when Greg Popovich had that press conference that he had. It was Timmy and Manu Ginobili both there to help him get to the podium. That's when he unveiled the El Jefe shirt. And so those guys love him. And why not? And so there's something about Greg Popovich. And I think a big part of that is, and as a reporter that covered the Spurs for a long time and fortunate to do so, Pop, you better have your A game there, or he's going to tell you don't. And I think players, reporters, anybody else appreciate that. I certainly did. Look, it was embarrassing as hell when you get popped at a press conference. But you know what? You realize that Pop's telling you, look, dude, I don't need any dumb questions. And if you don't know what you're talking about, don't ask. And you learn really quick. And I think it's the same with the players. If they're doing something wrong, it's not right, and Pop says, hey, that's not right, do it this way, and they do it and they're successful, it's just the way that it goes, and it makes them better, and that's Pop's ultimate goal. But again, a shout out to Tim Duncan. Man, the guy, not only the greatest power forward to ever play the game, in my mind, just a great human being as well. So appreciate him, and what a pleasure. Man, and he's right. I can't remember what caller said that. What a luxury. I was a truck driver. Joshua, dude, having a team like this and a family atmosphere the way the Spurs do, I don't think that takes place on any other franchise, not the way it does here in San Antonio. And so I am appreciative to be a part of it, to be able to ride the coattails of the Spurs for as long as I was able to do that. And it was just a phenomenal experience. And I'll never forget it. Appreciate everybody chiming in there. And for that, you know what? I'm going to reward all of you. I'm going to reward each and every one of you, if you're fast enough, that is. We've got a family 4-pack of tickets to give away to go see the Gunslingers this Saturday, May 16th. It is Star Wars game. It's a Gunslinger Star Wars game, so you could probably dress up. In fact, they might encourage that. It is in Freeman Coliseum. It's out of this world Star Wars game, Saturday, May 16th, 4 o'clock kickoff inside the Freeman Coliseum. Gunslingers are taking on the San Diego Strike Force. If you want to go see the Gunslingers this Saturday inside Freeman Coliseum, 4 o'clock, we got a family 4-pack we're giving away. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Let's go. We'll cut Timmy's number in half. We'll say caller number 12. Caller number 12, you will win a family 4-pack of tickets to go see the Gunslingers Star Wars game this Saturday inside Freeman Coliseum. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're bad at math.
Well, there is no half for 21, so I got as close as I could. All right,
Invert it.
Give me a break, will you? We're going caller 12. There you go. Go to work, Pledge.
I'm gonna go to work.
Give some tickets away, will you?
You go to work too, because I'm watching this golf tournament behind us, and it makes me want to play so bad.
Well, and me too, and I've said that before, and the perfect place to do that this weekend is the Golf Club of Texas. It is in phenomenal shape. It really is, and the improvements they've made out there are really starting to take shape. And with all the rain that we've had going on, that golf course is plush, man. You got to get out there. You got to play. You walk out there, you're going to think you're playing a schwanky country club. It's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. So, look, if you can't play this weekend, what's wrong with Monday? How about Tuesday? Wednesday? Doesn't make any difference. Any day that ends in Y, you can head out to the Golf Club of Texas, bring your sticks, and go play some golf. And when you go out there, go to the Tin Cup Bar and Grill, have some lunch, have a few drinks, take some beer with you on the course, and just have a good time. That's what they do at the Golf Club of Texas. They want you to have a good time. They want you to enjoy your experience. And so I mentioned the Tin Cup Bar and Grill. You can do all of that stuff, and you're not going to break the bank. The food is fantastic. They make you any kind of cocktail you want, and they've got a huge beer selection. It is just a fantastic place. Make your plans to get out there. The Golf Club of Texas, you know exactly where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Whether you're headed out for dinner at the Tin Cup or around with your buddies, how about your next tournament out there like we did? Go check them out. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz. After Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Dave Ramsey here. The only water softener I recommend is a quality water softener from Connecticut. It really is the last water softener you'll ever own.
ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
The San Antonio Gunslingers are bringing the fight back to Freeman Coliseum for an out-of-this-world Star Wars game. Saturday, May 16th, 4 p.m., the Indoor Football League action explodes as your Gunslingers take on San Diego in a lightsaber-filled showdown. Expect high-flying touchdowns, bone-crushing hits, and epic Star Wars vibes all afternoon. First fans through the door get their very own lightsaber. Get your tickets now at sagunslingers.com or the Freeman Coliseum box office. Guns up, San Antonio!
I love days like these at the pool, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. I'm ready to make a splash with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza. Skyrizi is a prescription-only injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. At 4 months, most people saw 90% clearer skin when measured from head to toe, and many were even 100% plaque-free. People also saw significant improvement in psoriasis symptoms of pain, redness, itching, and burning.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Now there's nothing on my skin thanks to Skyrizi, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Individual results may vary.
Right now, I have 24 different units. I think that's 15 separate properties. I trust Ownwell with all my properties. I trust them to fight for me with the appraisal district as best they can. And they've done a very good job. Ownwell is making my life more efficient, making me a better landlord. Using Ownwell, I've saved on average about $10,000 a year. That's a lot of money.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be reduced. Ownwell combines savvy technology and deep local expertise to save real estate owners real money. Want to see how much Ownwell can save you on your property taxes? Just enter an address and see your tax savings estimate. See how much you can save with Ownwell right now. But hurry, deadlines to file end this week. Text SAVE to 64,000. Text SAVE to 64,000. That's SAVE to 64,000.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
No NBA playoff basketball tonight, but we have 2 games tomorrow night. It will be Detroit and Cleveland in Cleveland for a Game 6 there tomorrow night. That will start off at 6 o'clock. That will be followed up by the Spurs-Timberwolves Game 6 from Minnesota. Tip-off set for 8:30. Tonight, right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, the NFL schedule release. It will start at 7 o'clock.
Sports Center brought to you by SAPDcareers.com. The San Antonio Police Department is always hiring.
From the studios of San Antonio's Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Blitz. 2 decades on the radio, Jason Minix. 2 decades on TV, Joe Reinagel. 2 San Antonio sports voices you've trusted for years. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope you're having a great Thursday out there. Whatever you're doing, however you are doing it. If you get off work at 5 o'clock, you're happy. Your Friday's here for all intents and purposes. Congratulations. We appreciate that. The weekend is in sight. Thanks for spending some time with us here. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix out dealing with a death in the family. His mom has passed away, if you haven't heard, and we wish him all the best, obviously. Thoughts and prayers. If you get a chance to reach out to Jason and offer a little support, I know he would appreciate that. He'll be back when everything is taken care of and he's finished doing whatever he needs to get done. So that's why Jason is out today. So again, if you have an opportunity to reach out to him, do that, and just be nice for him to know he's got everybody's support. We appreciate all you folks for listening to us every day here on the Blitz. No question about that. The Spurs have released their injury report for Game 6. Nothing to report. There's nobody on the injury list for the San Antonio Spurs. That's good news because remember going into Game 5, we had two. De'Aaron Fox and who was it? Dylan Harper were both on that injury list and both questionable. And they both played. They both played pretty well. And the Spurs, well, they took care of business. So that is a good thing. The Spurs are in Minnesota. I'm assuming they're going to shoot around tomorrow. What's going on, Pledge? Oh, you sent me something?
Yeah, I sent you a little something.
All right. I'm assuming they'll shoot around tomorrow morning before the game. Hopefully we'll hear from some of them tomorrow afternoon here on the Blitz. Chris Finch apparently talked today, and I don't have the sound, but I've got the quote, and he's defending Rudy Gobert. He basically says on what needs to improve and how the Wolves defend Victor Wembanyama when Rudy Gobert is on the floor. The quote is, in Rudy's defense, obviously Wembanyama is a really tough cover. Anytime we've made a mistake around him with regards to executing the coverages, we've paid for it. Some of the times it's been him picking the wrong route. Some of the times it's been our help. I appreciate Chris Finch taking up for his big fella. Wouldn't expect anything else. And he's right. Victor Wembanyama is a tough cover. I think anybody in the league is going to tell you that. And I don't care who it is, how tall they are, or how long they've been in the league. This young man is a tough cover. But Rudy Gobert is a veteran player. He's been in this league for a while. And in this series, Wemby has made him look like a complete fool. A complete fool. I mean, there were a couple of plays the other night where I don't even know if Rudy Gobert knew where he was on the floor. I mean, Wemby had this dude's head spinning. And it was really sad to see for a guy like that. Now, I've never been a Rudy Gobert fan, don't get me wrong, and I won't pretend to be. But I think that, in fact, I think he's soft as Charmin, honestly, in all sincerity. The guy's soft. I don't think I know he's won some Defensive Player of the Year awards. I get all that. He's a tall man. But I just don't think that when push comes to shove, especially this time of year, Rudy Gobert technically doesn't seem to show up. And he's certainly not showing up in this series. And I hope that continues. But it sounds like from Chris Finch's comments there will be no changes. And Rudy Gobert will be back in the starting lineup tomorrow. And we'll see. Well, yeah, I mean, I think so too. I'm all for it. Now, I wonder, though, if Finch will have a quick hook for Gobert. And I mean that because I think even though he's not near the height of Wemby, Naz Reid, obviously it's Naz Reid who got under Wemby's skin the other day. You know, he had a little help, but he got under his skin. And I think, look, the Timberwolves got to pull out all the stops tomorrow. I mean, this is the true definition of a must-win. Desperation, all of that stuff for them. They've got to pull out all the stops, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do and how they do it. Now, I hope they don't get overly physical. I hope that none of that nonsense happens, and I don't think they will. But I think they're going to be physical, and they're going to try to get under Wemby's skin. Look, the best thing for the Minnesota Timberwolves is to get Wemby out of the game. And if you remember back to Game 4, before Wemby got tossed for the elbow, they had Wemby with two or three really quick fouls. And whatever they were doing was working because that was the way they were trying to get Wemby to the bench and get him off the floor. And I just wonder if that's going to be a strategy for tomorrow night to try and get him, go at him, do something to try and get him into foul trouble and to get him off the floor, because that's the only way, as I see it, that Minnesota has any prayer of winning this game. When Wemby's off the floor, the Timberwolves match up okay with San Antonio, with the rest of the players. They do. Because, look, Luke Cornett, as well as he's played this year, he fits right in with what the T-Wolves like to do. They like to drive to the basket. When Wemby's on the floor, they can't do that. And it hurts their game, so they got to try and do something else, like shoot three-pointers. They're not a good three-point shooting team. So Wemby makes a difference on the floor. When Cornett's in the ball game, when Wemby has to get a breather, you'll notice a difference in how they attack the basket. It's just the way that it is. So if they can get Wemby off the floor sooner rather than later, well, obviously that's advantage Minnesota Timberwolves. So tomorrow's going to be a fascinating game. I don't think Minnesota desires to get knocked out of the playoffs in front of their home fans. But again, if the Spurs come out and play the way they've been playing, and Wemby does what he's doing and stays out of foul trouble, doesn't do anything silly, then I think the Spurs are going to wrap this thing up tomorrow night. I just don't think the Timberwolves match up enough or well enough when Wemby's on the floor to get anything done. So Wemby's got to stay on the floor. He's got to come out with the same attitude that he had in Game 5, where he's calm, he's cool, he's collected, he's all of those things, and just don't do anything foolish. And I think the Spurs will be okay. Having said that, I don't know if you recall, or if you just joined us, I'll kind of rehash this for you. If you're with us, you heard the truck driver, Joshua, and he told us that everywhere he goes, he wears his Spurs gear. And he said everybody he sees talks about how lucky the Spurs are and how fortunate you are to be a Spurs fans because they have been lucky in the lottery. Let's face it. So that leads to our poll question on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. Are you okay with the Spurs being the new villains of the NBA? Now, I'm not saying that they are, but it looks like with what happened yesterday, with all the talking heads, talking about NBC introducing Wemby like he was a conquering hero, like he was coming back from a year of war and he survived and he saved the planet. That's how they described it, and to some extent that's the way that it was. I went back and watched that, and yeah, I mean, NBC was thrilled to have Victor Wembanyama back on the floor because ratings-wise, they were absolutely thrilled. So that is the way they put it, and a lot of the talking heads, a lot of the national guys took offense to that. Nick Wright, we talked about that. Now there were several others that had their issues with the way that happened. So in that respect, I see some jealousy. I do. And I think just judging by some of the comments I've heard today, some of the comments I've heard before, people think the Spurs are lucky, and I think they're tired. It's almost New England Patriots kind of tired of the Spurs being this way, even though they haven't been to a championship in 11 years, 12 years basically. So I'm not sure why that is, but that's why I asked the question. Are you okay with the Spurs being the new villains of the NBA? A lot of you have voted. There is still time to vote. 89% of you say you don't give a damn. They can call the Spurs whatever they want as long as we're hanging banners inside the Frostbank Center.
Call us what you want as long as it says champs at the end.
That's all that matters to me, and apparently all that matters to most of you. There are 11% of you that are saying no. And I get that, and there's really no right or wrong answer in this thing. It's just how you feel at the time, because I was kind of torn by this, and I've mentioned this before earlier in the show. The Spurs, especially during the dynasty run with Tim, Tony, Manu, and David Robinson, and all the cast of characters, I always thought of the Spurs as the good guys. They do it right, and they're not gonna show off. There's not gonna be a lot of look at me type of stuff, and there wasn't. And so I always thought of the Spurs as the good guys of the NBA. And I guess in some respects, whether it's jealousy, whatever it is, that's changing a little bit, at least on a national basis. So how do you feel about that? Go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, like and subscribe and vote in our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. We're going to switch gears for just a moment, and we're going to talk to the general, John McClain. Houston Texans, they got a big game coming up on Christmas Eve against the Philadelphia Eagles, and I want to see what he thinks about that. Maybe he's got even a couple more leaks out of Houston. Who knows? But we'll talk to the general. John McClain joins us next here on The Blitz, a 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you about a great place to go to watch these games, Novo Brewery. It is their first location in Texas. It's inside North Star Mall or attached to North Star Mall. Either way you slice it, it doesn't matter. You can get to Novo Brewery through the mall, or they've got their own entrance. I love going through their own entrance because you pull up on the Rector side of North Star Mall, you drive in, you park, and you're right there. They're open late. They've got TVs all over the place. In fact, they've got 8 massive LED screens, 80 feet of LED video walls. It is a great place to go watch any game, whether that's the Spurs, whether it's the World Cup that's coming up here really soon. Novo Brewery is the place that you need to go. It is your sports viewing headquarters. And let me tell you something. There's a couple of things that are different about Novo. You want to bring the family, you can do that. They've got an area for kids. Kids can play. They've got stuff there that will keep them entertained while you watch the game. Maybe your wife wants to go shopping. Well, she can do that. You're right there in North Star Mall. Everybody can be entertained. Everybody can do exactly what they want. But whatever you do, you got to have lunch or dinner or both because their food is fantastic. I love their picanha skewers. They are the best that I have ever had. But they've got everything. I mean, from French fries to wings to empanadas to burgers, sandwiches, all the way up to ribeye steaks, which are absolutely fantastic, by the way. 60 craft beers, kombucha on draft, domestic beer on tap as well. Plus, they've got a full bar. If you don't want beer, you want a cocktail, they can take care of you there. It's a beautiful space. It will accommodate any size group. If you want to check them out before you head down there, okay, novobrew.com. That's N-O-V-O brew.com.
Let's be honest. Watching the Rangers is better when you got something on the line. On Rangers game days, call your shot with the Morning Huddles. Rangers Double Dinger Payday. Play ball! Pick the Ranger you think will send one into the seats. He hits one, you're going to a Rangers game. He hits two, now you've just been upgraded. Tickets and a hotel stay. That's what we call getting paid. Wake up with the Morning Huddle. Make your pick and win with the Morning Huddle's Rangers Double Dinger Payday. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Texas Rangers.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
San Antonio, Tamalitos Restaurant is now open on 11210 Nacogdoches Road. Stop in for authentic Mexican food and unbeatable lunch specials every day. Plus, join the Blitz live Thursday, May 21st for your chance to score Texas Rangers tickets. See you there.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
On the next Morning Huddle, it's a game day ball. The Spurs are tipping. What's your game day ritual? We'll look at their game, the NFL schedule, the other NBA games, and everything else that's happening in your big world. Join us early. We're going to have to. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Big night for the NFL, schedule release day. even though we've gotten a lot of leaks already. But it is scheduled release day. This is the Blitz, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix with the day off. But as we do every Thursday, and we look forward to it, the General, John McClain, joins us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And, John, you expecting any fireworks when it comes to the Houston Texans and what they're going to do?
Joe, every year, it's so funny the way schedules are done today and to the way they used to be when I first started in this business. This is like my 50th schedule. And used to, they just send it out and they'd call you and tell you the games and you'd write it, and that's all you'd hear about it. You might talk about it on a talk show. And now it's become such a big event. It just blows me away. First thing I always look at is who the Texans play on the first game. Used to be, when I look at the Oilers, who did they play their first game? Then I want to know, when do they play the other teams in the AFC South? And then I want to know about national games. And then, of course, who the last one is. I look for things like, do they have 3-game road trips? Do they have 3 in a row and all? And how they start, what quarterbacks they go against. As you can imagine, people here are really fired up about the Texans' defense, which was great last year, but could be even better this year, and what quarterbacks are going to be facing them. The last 2 years they played Buffalo here, and they have made life miserable for Josh Allen, and they'll play Buffalo again here for a third year in a row. And so I'm eager to see when they get Josh Allen. It's the same way with the Cowboys. I was always, when I grew up a Cowboys fan in Waco, first thing I want to know, when do they play the Redskins? And, yeah, I cared about the Giants and the Eagles, but mainly it was because of that great rivalry with Tom Landry and George Allen back during that period. And then, of course, we always know Cowboys are going to have the maximum number of primetime games. If it wasn't against the rules, they probably should just put the Cowboys in primetime every week, and they would have set the all-time record for ratings. And people are fired up about the Cowboys now because they're supposed to be better. The offense is great and started to come together last year with Pickens and Williams stepping in and both having really good seasons. And now, because of the anticipated improvement of the defense, people are fired up about the Cowboys. So we all want to know, we already know who they're starting with, but how many games do they have nationally televised? And whatever the max is now, I can't even remember. How many are on Netflix or Prime? Because if you want to get subscribers, put the Cowboys on there as many times as you can.
Yeah, well, there's no question about it. And already, John, just from the leaks that I've gotten, obviously they open up against the Giants on Sunday Night Football. Then they've got the Eagles on Monday Night Football in Week 7. They've got the Buccaneers on Thursday Night Football on October the 8th. And then Sunday Night Football against the Jags on December the 27th, not to mention the fact that, well, they play on Thanksgiving Day as well. So plenty of, I don't know how many I counted right there. Was that 5 or 6 already that are on national, open windows all alone?
Yeah, and sometime in there, they come to Houston to play the Texans at what will be Reliance Stadium again. Right now it's Houston Stadium because of the World Cup, after being NRG Stadium. So it's always a big deal, especially here, more so than Dallas, of course, because Dallas doesn't acknowledge Houston as a team. But it's always a really big deal here, not just for the Texans fans, but for the Cowboys fans in this area, of which there are many. And it'll be a big deal all over the state of Texas when those two teams play here.
Yeah, well, there's no question about it. We're visiting with John McClain, the General. And, John, I'm interested in your thoughts on this. Obviously, Thanksgiving and Christmas, the NFL has added Thanksgiving Eve and Christmas Eve. You've got the Texans playing the Eagles in Philadelphia on Christmas Eve. They just seem to be taking over the holidays. And we were talking about it earlier. The NBA's got to be sick about this because, well, that was usually their day.
And it was, and that was one of their big promotions. Christmas Day is the NBA day. And they put all premier games, premier teams, and then here comes the 800-pound gorilla. And the 800-pound gorilla sits anywhere it wants to sit. So it's just squishing the NBA. But to me, Joe, on Christmas Day, and just like Thanksgiving, you can't have too many games. I love the NFL, but I also like the NBA. And so I don't care how many sporting events. It's like walking into a great buffet. And you know you can't eat everything, but it's all right there for you to pick and choose, and that's what it's like. I don't know why it's not going to happen. At least I don't think. But why the NFL just doesn't go play every day of the week? And because people can't get enough. We're headed, Joe, when they go to 18-game schedule, and they will. And the owners are going to have to give the players something besides time off in the off season to get them to agree to it. We know they're going to agree to it because it's more money for everybody. And then they'll play every week of the season, 18 weeks. There'll be at least one international game. Every team will play an international game. You'll give up a home game. And I saw, I can't remember what it was. Somebody was talking about the international games, and it's not that I kind of feel like, they're going to Madrid, great. They're going to Australia, great. Going back to Ireland, great. I like to see the stories leading up to those games about the fans, the country, the cities. And then when they get there, I just want to see the games. And when we go to 18 games, they're going to have to give teams 2 bye weeks. And it doesn't matter when the Super Bowl is. Teams that host the Super Bowl have to set aside all of February in case something happened catastrophic that caused them to have to move back the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl can be played on any time. Really, it can be played on opening weekend of baseball season. They do to baseball what they've done to the NBA. But we're coming to that, and the way I look at it, because the NFL is so good and so exciting and so competitive and such great at marketing its product, I can't get enough of it.
Well, I don't think anybody can, and that's why they're doing it, John. I mean, again, and you brought this up when we started this segment, having a schedule release broadcast, and that the NFL Network and ESPN are covering this thing just tells you how popular the NFL is, and it's only getting popular. 9 international games this year. I mean, it's incredible.
I'd like to call the NFL, and because when they play a game on the road, they have to have a whole staff down there months in advance. I'd like to volunteer and say, hey, can I go down there and be a gopher in Melbourne, or can I go be a gopher in Madrid for 6 months leading up to that game? It's like the Super Bowl. They've been working on the next Super Bowl over a year in advance. They have so many crews in their special events departments, and then they get great help from the cities and the countries where they play. I remember so many gloom and doom predictions when the NFL went on Monday night. Okay, everybody like, what, Monday night? And then it was such a huge success, starting with the Jets and the Browns in Cleveland in 1970. And then when they went to Thursday, oh, no, man, that's too much. Oversaturation. They already go to Saturdays in December. People are going to get tired of the NFL. Nobody's going to want to watch it. And it's just we can't get enough. And that's why I love covering the NFL so much. And I was around a bunch of high school coaches from the Houston area yesterday in an event. It was so much fun talking to them and asking them questions, because I'm not around high school coaches. I'm not even around college, just NFL. And I had so much fun talking to them about, in fact, I was interviewing them for our website, MadDogEntertainment.tv, about, previews about the NIL transfer portal. Both are coming to high school football. All of them believe it. And the differences in coaching now. I interviewed Wade Phillips when he coached in the early 70s, 3 years of high school before he went to the college and the NFL, and how important those college coaches, high school coaches and players are to football in general. And they all know they don't say it's tougher than ever. Obviously it is, just like it's tougher for college coaches. And the NFL, they don't have to deal with things colleges and high schools are going through right now, really free agency every single year. Can you imagine if any player in the NFL could take a hike after any season and go somewhere else?
That'd be ridiculous. I mean, just like it is
Absolutely.
in college. In my mind, it's ridiculous in college. And I don't know when that's go ahead.
Well, Joe, the best thing is it doesn't matter how screwed up NIL or the portal are. When they kick it off or when they tip it off or they drop the puck or they throw the first pitch, the product at least is better than ever, especially in pro football, college football, and high school football.
You know, I'm with you in pro football and in all of them right now. What concerns me, John, and I'm curious to hear what you have to say. I'm afraid that at some point in time, and I know these guys have a lot of money, these boosters and those guys, but I mean, at some point in time, you better win, or I'm afraid they're going to stop writing checks, and or it's just going to get out of control money-wise, and people are going to get tired of paying that kind of cash.
We're talking about high schools now. What about those wealthy private schools that I know we have? It's not a private school, Houston Memorial High School, close to where we live, which is the wealthiest public school in Houston, in the middle of one of the wealthiest neighborhoods. Well, if they were doing NIL legally, they would get so much more. And how would the Houston Independent School District and the San Antonio Independent School District stand up to that? Like those great suburban high schools in Austin, Westlake, South Lake Carroll, between Dallas and Fort Worth. Those schools, the money they could raise compared to the others, it just seems like it'd be blatantly unfair.
Well, I totally agree with you, and it's I don't know. We'll see what happens and how somebody's going to fix it. John McClain joining us here on the Blitz, and before I let you go, John, is there any particular Houston game that you're looking at that you're really interested in seeing when that is going to be played, and perhaps what network, and is it a national televised game?
Well, I think if they don't put the Cowboys and Texans on a nationally televised game, they're making a mistake, because you have the most popular team, and then you have the best defense. You have a team that's won a playoff game for 3 years in a row. Games are always good. They're always competitive. And I still go back to, I think it was 8 years ago, it was an NBC game on Sunday night here, and the state Texans won with Deshaun Watson. He just got pulverized, his ribs broken, but he stayed in there. That was one of the hardest hitting games I've ever seen. And so that's the first one I'm going to be looking for. Cowboys, we know where it's going to be here, but we don't know when it's going to be, and I hope it's on national TV.
Well, I hope so too. And I lied to you, John. I got one more question for you. We've been talking all day. In fact, we got a poll up on our YouTube page right now. I'm hearing a lot of jealousy, a lot of that's what I call it, jealousy, about the Spurs. With Victor Wembanyama, a lot of the so-called national media guys were upset that NBC portrayed him as the returning conquering hero when he came back in Game 5, and they had a lot to say. Yeah, they had a lot to say about it. I'm thinking, so my question today is, are you okay, Spurs fans, with the Spurs being the villains of the NBA? I think they're getting that Patriots complex.
You know, we've had Pop was the villain for a while because they won so much, and he was so gruff and huffy and all that, and a pain in the butt for a lot of the media.
Yes.
But I don't see that with the Spurs just because Wemby threw an elbow. And if he had been suspended that next game, can you imagine how bad the ratings would have been? We've known for a long time it's going to be the Spurs versus OKC in the Western Conference Finals. I never expected the Spurs to be this good this fast, and I don't think they can beat OKC. I think next year, when OKC is the defending two-time champion, that's when they'll be trying to knock the king off his throne and have a better chance.
Well, yeah, we'll see what happens. I know the folks around here, John, are very excited about.
They should be.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, that's for sure. And we got a big Game 6 tomorrow night in Minnesota, trying to close that thing out. So it will be interesting. John McClain, we appreciate you, my friend.
Well, thank you very much as always. I do appreciate it.
John McClain joining us via the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. And you know that the comment that John made right there, I think a lot of people, at least nationally, feel the same way, that the Spurs won't be able to get by the Oklahoma City Thunder types. Interesting. And again, and I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again today, don't look at what they did in the regular season, because it's completely different. It is completely different. Just trust me on this. It's going to be a much more difficult task to knock those guys out in the playoffs than it was to knock them out in the regular season. But it's going to be a lot of fun if they get there. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself here. Not trying to get ahead of myself. Not at all. The love for Victor Wembanyama, though, is real, especially from some of these former players. We'll talk about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you need your logo on any kind of gear, you need any kind of promotional items, you need to go see Sam over at Sammy's Embroidery and Printing on San Pedro. If you need T-shirts screen printed, go see Sam. You need something with Wemby and not getting bullied anymore, you want to make your own T-shirt, Sam will get that done for you. That's what he does. You need your business logo, your group logo on a nice golf shirt, a fishing shirt, a dress shirt, go see Sam. He's got all the big-name brands from Adidas, North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few, Under Armour. He even now carries a full line of Tommy Bahama. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom. And he's got all the popular cap brands like the Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie Caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries. And if you do run a business, Sam does so much more than just uniforms. His new sign shop can do your signs, your banners, flags, card magnets, vehicle wraps, window decals, and so much more. Nobody has better prices, and Sam is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. Call 210-824-3900 or go into that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's about a mile inside Loop 410 right there across from the McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club. Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
Hello.
I didn't make it into medical school, Dad.
Huh?
I didn't have an A in all my subjects, so I can't get in.
What do you mean, all these years I supported you, all the money I poured into your education, you don't get all A's? What was your bad subject? Chemistry, physiology, what?
No, Dad, spelling.
Spelling?
Yeah.
What, was it some funny microorganisms you couldn't spell or what?
No, Kinetico.
Kinetico? You mean the water conditioner that uses no electricity? Are you kidding? Everybody knows how to spell Connecticut.
Not me.
Everybody knows Connecticut is the water conditioning company that revolutionized the water industry.
Sorry, Dad.
Everybody knows that Connecticut is spelled Kinetico.
I thought the instructor said Connecticut. On the
Oh,
East Coast,
son,
little
you should have remembered kinetic as in kinetic energy with an O on the end. Connecticut. Connecticut. Spell it Kinetico.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Connecticut. SA.com.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
The Morning Huddle.
See, you're talking like that little old lady at the Spurs game now. It's just not right. It's just not right.
Yeah, she's talking directly to me. How can I afford it? Yeah,
she was. And Vic is that little old lady. Vic's like, how do they afford it?
I know.
Outrageous.
I literally mow lawns on the weekends for extra money
to buy the ticket.
Broke.
My favorite thing that Vic said was like, he was mowing his lawn and some dude came by and said, how much? And Vic was like, this is my house.
I live here. I live here.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Boy, lots happening today. What a great show. Appreciate all of you guys for participating in today's show, man. It's been a lot of fun. It really has. We got a lot more to do here before we can ride off into the sunset, have a cold drink, and, I don't know, maybe kill another squirrel or two. Who knows? Pledge just sent me a picture that I guess Wookie made.
Yeah.
Wookie made of me, and it says, Right, Joe the Squirrel Killer. If you haven't heard,
you can show the camera.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
I don't know if they can see that or not, though. Can you zoom in?
I can make it work.
All right, make it work, Pledge. If you were with us early in the show, you know what I'm talking about. If not, I'm on my way back from the gym today, and I'm going home, just happy, feeling pretty good, and run over a squirrel. The damn thing just ran right out in front of me. I mean, there's nothing I could do. It was nothing I could do. He just ran right out in front of me, and it went boom, boom. And I'm like, damn, I just hit that squirrel. And I saw him out of the corner of my eye, but there was nothing I could do. Nothing I could do. So if you're watching on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, you see the picture there, and Pledge is putting that up. But yeah, so I guess that's my new nickname now, SK, Squirrel Killer. I'm not sure. I felt really bad about it, honestly. I did. I mean, I'm like, I just ran over a squirrel. I don't want to do that.
Did you stop?
No.
You didn't feel that bad then?
Well, what was I supposed to do? Give it mouth to mouth? I mean, it was a double tire, dude. It was a double tire. It was a boop, 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 boop. Both.
Sounded like 12 tires.
Well, it may have been.
It's half of Tim Duncan's jersey, apparently.
Dude. Well, what was I going to say? Caller number 11 and a half?
You could have said invert it.
That wouldn't even work either, 11 and a half. 10 and a half. Oh, my goodness. Sorry, Timmy. When I go home tonight and I drive home, it's the first thing I'm going to look for because I kind of have a pretty good idea of where I did this. And I don't know, the dead squirrel there, there's going to be a bunch of buzzards around eating on this thing or what, but I don't know. It's just, anyway, so I felt really bad about that. And you guys didn't help at all. Whether you're on YouTube or not, nobody helped. I mean, you guys just making fun of me. That's fine. And like KC says, smothered squirrel with rice or mashed taters is delicious. So maybe I just scoop that squirrel off the ground and go put it on the fryer. I don't know. I've never hit a squirrel before, and I guess
which is shocking, actually.
Well, it really is. But typically they'll dart out in front of you, and somehow they escape, or they go underneath the car and you don't hit them. It's the first time I've ever done that. I've come really close a lot of times, but I've never hit one. So and again, felt bad for a minute, and now I'm better. I'm okay.
Minute.
Yeah, for a minute. I did. I don't know. There's a lot of damn squirrels out there. Maybe I'm helping control the population a little bit.
Or you're just, Darwin theory, just taking out the dumb ones.
I guess. Well, this guy was pretty dumb, or he thought he was pretty fast. One of the two. And he said,
He's
"Here,
like, look, I'm Usain Bolt.
Hey, Larry, check this out. Look what I'm going to do." And he'll run through there, and he said, "Oh, Larry said, oh, sorry, dude. I'll go tell the wife and kids." Or I'm going to go home and get with the wife. One of the two. I don't know. I don't know how squirrels are in that situation. But anyway, so that's what happened today. So it was kind of a traumatic day, I'll be honest with you. Kind of a traumatic day. So looking forward, though, to tomorrow because
when you take your first step towards being a serial killer, I mean.
Well, I guess, I guess. And the weapon of choice was my car. I need to check my car. I hope there's not guts all over it. I had to take it to the car wash and get the guts sprayed out of it. I never forget in high school, this is the craziest thing. I was a passenger in a friend of mine's car, and we're driving down the street, and this dude hits a skunk. And I guarantee you that skunk smell was on this guy's car for 3 weeks. He washed it every day. Could not get rid of that smell. It was awful. I mean, it was awful. And so it kind of reminded me of that, and thank goodness it wasn't a skunk.
Next up on Joe's hit list.
No, I don't want to hit maybe a raccoon. I don't know. That'd be okay. Or something else. Not a skunk, dude. I'm telling you, can't get that smell off of your car. So I don't want to do that. That's just, I can't do that. No. Spurs play tomorrow night. Hopefully they didn't kill anything on the way up to Minnesota. They have landed. I've seen video.
Is Pop going to be on the sidelines?
No, Pop didn't travel with them. They are there, though. We do the obligatory, the TV stations that are out there, the obligatory video of the team walking into the hotel. They never talked to anybody, but they used to. Back early in the playoff days, they used to. They'd give you somebody. Because if you're a TV station, you traveled out there, you had the expense to do that. They'd hand you somebody. It was never anybody big, but it was always somebody that you could get, a couple of questions in with. But I don't think they do that anymore. But we always had to get that video of the team walking into the hotel because, well, it's really all you had for that night's Spurs stuff. Since they didn't
look, they're here.
Since they didn't,
they made it.
They didn't have any availability over the last couple of days, so you don't have any fresh sound. So you got to. You got to do what you got to do in that situation. But look, Victor Wembanyama is catching this country by storm, honestly. And when I ask you if the Spurs are the new NBA villains, whether you think they are, whether you think they are not, and whether you care or not, I simply don't. It doesn't matter to me. As long as they're hanging banners inside the arena, that's really all that matters. But Victor Wembanyama is different, I think. And a lot of former players are in love with this guy. In fact, I think Pat Beverly needed a cigarette after this.
Wemby is the best player in the NBA, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I've never seen a person in my life block a shot, run down, dunk on you, grab a rebound, hit the guard, come off a flare. I don't think you hear me. A 7'6" center is coming off a flare screen, shooting a logo 3 all net. Like, you can't put a point guard on them because they're too small. You can't put a 2 guard on them because they're too small. You can't put a wing on them because they're too small. You can't put a 4 on them because they're too small. You can't put a 5 on them because they're too small. And if they are the same size, they're too slow. I've never seen a prospect like this in my entire life. Like, he's a real alien. And I like the elbow. That, get off me. I like the elbow, right? And I like that the NBA didn't suspend him either. Like, don't make it soft. Like, we want to see Wemby play, but like, I've never seen a player like this in my entire life. I've never seen a player like this in my entire life. You're talking about a player that you can just throw the ball to and he can literally just jump and throw the ball in the hole like Nerf. He's the best player in the NBA without a doubt. And we're not even talking about what he's doing defensively. Like, averaging almost 4 blocks, that's like, you know how hard it is to average 4 blocks? That's literally like, I think the person under him is like 1.6 or 1.7. Like, that's 3 of elite defensive centers rolled in one. Like, Wemby is incredible. Like, incredible.
Dude, give me a cigarette. Yeah, I think Pat Beverly needed a cigarette after that comment. Look, I think this is the sentiment, especially among former players, even current players to some extent. You heard Anthony Edwards the other night in the postgame locker room. There were some things that Wemby did we had no answer for, and we're just hoping that he missed shots. Look, if you're going into a game and you have no answer for one of the players and all you're doing is hoping they miss shots, you're in deep doo-doo. All right, you're in deep trouble, and that's for sure. You just I don't think I've ever heard an NBA player or an NFL player or anybody else say that about any other player. There's nothing. There's things he does. There's nothing we can do about it. We just hope he misses. I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know about how dominant this guy is and just how different he is. For lack of a better word, he's different. And people call him the alien, and maybe that's exactly what they need to do. But if you're Anthony Edwards and you got no answer and you don't know what they're going to do, and I don't think Chris Finch has any answer either. I don't know what he's going to do. That's going to be interesting to watch tomorrow night. Obviously, we'll talk a lot of Spurs tomorrow leading up to Game 6 in Minnesota tomorrow night. That's going to be a lot of fun. But right now, about this time, we tell you what's on tap.
Blitz wants you to know what's on tap. Presented by Sam's Burger Joint.
Sam's Burger Joint, always a good place to go. Sam'sBurgerJoint.com. That's where you can find out everything that is going on. Go hungry, though. Those burgers are outstanding. Tonight, in fact, if you're going to see Stephen Forbert or Forbert, I'm not sure which way to pronounce it. Sorry, Steve, but he'll be playing out there tonight. Friday, the Super Suckers, Scott H. Bierum. Saturday night, Lemon Yellow Sun, a tribute to Pearl Jam. And then on Sunday, Music on Magnolia, the Big Gig Spring 26. That's at Sam's Burger Joint. Again, go to Sam'sBurgerJoint.com. Elsewhere tonight, Stable Hall at the Pearl has Latin Dance Night with Algo Nuevo. The Moody Center, well, if you're going to the Moody Center, you're probably headed there. The Avett brothers are there. LOL Comedy Club has Russell Peters tonight. Spec Store, John David. Paper Tiger has Shay. Encore. 502 Bar has Mixed Signals. The Brass Monkey, Battle of the Boy Bands. Oh, that's interesting. Battle of the Boy Bands. All right. And Wolf Stadium, the Mission's taking on the Wichita Wind Surge. Friday night, you're looking for something to do, head out to Green Hall. Colby Cooper is out there. Boeing Center at Techport. It's a free event, they're telling me here. Forge Scholastic. Is it S-Sports or ES?
Esports.
Esports. It's S-Sports Championship. Well, that's pretty cool. It's a video game championship, right?
It's like half of 21.
10.5. Stable Hall at the Pearl, Gimme Disco on Saturday night. Josh Ward is playing out at Floor's Country Store on Saturday night. That should be a good show. Bobby Lee, the final tour 2026 at Aztec Theater on Saturday night. The Moody Center has George Strait. That's not the real George Strait, is it? That's an AI Strait?
No, that's the real George.
Really? All right. Wow. I didn't know about that.
Well, it sounds like you got plans now.
I may have to have plans now. I got to call John at Awesome Tickets. Wolf Stadium, the Wind Surge still in town. Tobin Center, Disney's 80s through 90s celebration. Paper Tiger has System of a Brown. Passing Strangers at Pick's Bar. That is always a good time. Then Saturday night, a good time out at Whitewater Amphitheater. Robert Earl Keen and friends feeling good again. Colby Cooper's at Green Hall. Briscoe is at Floor's Country Store on Saturday night. I don't know what that is. Pledge, is that a misprint? Is it
no.
Dan?
Danae
Hayes, the Buckwild Tour. What else we got here? Spec Store, Syria Lynn, and Copia. SeaWorld, you want to go out there? Soulja Boy How about that?
With the Ying twins.
The Ying twins at SeaWorld. Nice. Freeman Coliseum, Saturday afternoon. San Antonio Gunslingers taking on the San Diego Strike Force. They'll kick at 4 o'clock. Head on out there. That's a lot of fun. Freeman Expo Hall, World Oddities Expo, and Whiskey Riot. That sounds like fun. I'm in for a good Whiskey Riot. George Strait is back at the Moody Center on Saturday night. The Paper Tiger has Millington and Life Cycles. 1902 Nightclub on Saturday night, Cream. The Rock Box, Nate Vickers. Bluebonnet Palace has the Max. Good band. They've been around for a long time. Local band. A bunch of nice guys, too. Upstage Comedy Lounge. I didn't know there was an Upstage Comedy Lounge, Pledge. Heavy Hitters, as seen on Kill Tony.
Mm-hmm.
And Sun Coutro at Pix Bar.
I'm pretty sure that's Quattro.
Quattro?
That's why the 4's in there.
All right. Is that how he spells it? Quattro?
I would imagine.
They had a lot of stuff going on Sunday night, too. My goodness. Majestic Theater has the Josie Awards 2026. Green Hall, still Ramen Fest. Sims Foundation Benefit. Spec Store has Tones Country. The Moody Center, the Black Crows.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be an interesting concert. ACL Live, Mac DeMarco with Tex Crick. That's what's on tap. Brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint. Get all the info at samsburgerjoint.com. Interesting stuff going on this weekend. So get out and about and do something, unless the Spurs have to play on Sunday. But you should have a free weekend this weekend.
Free weekend.
A free weekend. No Spurs to watch.
See, if the Spurs are playing on Friday night, you don't have to go see George on Friday. You can go Saturday.
Go on Saturday. That's true. Yeah, and look, I can get good. I'm gonna call John. I'll go home and talk to Maggie and say, hey, darling, let's go see old George, the king of country music. You got a half a show tonight, right?
I got a full show.
You got a full show. Oh my goodness, you are in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. Extra Innings with Pleasure coming up next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Be sure and tune in early tomorrow morning to the Morning Huddle. AJ and Rob, they'll get you started at 6 a.m., and I'll be back here at 2 o'clock. We'll get you ready for that big Spurs game in Minnesota. Until then, have a great night, everybody.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz.